now tuned in to the Cold Hard Truth, Cayman's #1 hard-hitting live podcast show, where we feature some straightforward conversations on political, social, and celebrity news and all things happening in the Cayman Islands and around the world. This show was created to give the people a voice and a means of being involved and informed without any filters. Sometimes it gets crazy, but we always keep it real. We bring you the tea, piping hot, so grab your favorite beverage and join the conversation via WhatsApp at 324-1612. Email tips at CaymanMarlRoad.com. Now, here's your host, Sandy Hill, broadcasting live from the beautiful Cayman Islands.
Football news ahead of the weekend and review the best of the action each week. Premier League preview Monday and Friday morning at 8:05. Brought to you by Sportsbacks. Watch your game anywhere, Big news. I have some important news for you.
Interesting news.
It's Blake and Aaron's Spilling the Tea with Sandy.
Cayman's top news headlines of the day from CMR.
Hey, Sandy. Happy Monday.
Good morning, Blake. Happy Monday. How are you?
Good. Aaron is off on her little staycation at Little Cayman, so you got me solo today.
Okay, nice. How was your weekend?
That was good. Did some stuff around the house.
Awesome.
And pretty low key. How about yourself?
It was good. Yeah, same thing. Didn't do anything terribly exciting.
Any big news to talk about Monday morning?
Of course, cruise ships are returning this morning.
Yes.
So if anyone lives and works in Georgetown, they will definitely notice the change. And they should be, I'm playing around with my, they should be super excited to see them return. And so, yes.
I see the ship now. I was checking out
I know.
I was checking out the port cameras. And now I can see the Disney cruise ship coming in. So there she is.
Are you able to? Oh, okay. You're just watching it on the.
Yeah, you can go to CaymanPort.com/webcams and then check out what's happening down at the port. So you can see all the tenders; they're ready, and I see the Disney cruise ship off in the distance. So it's coming in.
Yeah. Well, we've got someone down there that will be joining us on the live stream.
Okay.
So, yeah, totally awesome. So of course that's big news. Hung jury, another big story on Friday. So the firearm case that you might remember with Kirk Monroe, the jury was out for over 24 hours. So they went out about midday on Thursday. And after 2:00, they came back and said that they could not make a decision, like a unanimous decision, because it was just...
Remind us of what the story is.
So basically, he is being charged with 2 counts, one of possession of a firearm and possession of ammunition for that firearm. And he says that he found the gun at his place of business. That's his defense. Normally, I mean, it's almost like a strict liability offense in the sense that if you're in possession of a firearm, you're going to jail for 10 years if you're found guilty, 7 years if you plead guilty, you get a reduction. And he's come up with a very interesting defense, which is that he basically found the gun and he was afraid to turn it in to the wrong member of the RCIPS. So 5 days later, he was still trying to find the right member. And so... and
you find it interesting how?
Sorry?
And you find it interesting how?
Well, it's the first time this defense has ever been used in a firearm case in the Cayman Islands.
It wasn't me. That defense?
Well, the defense essentially is I was so afraid of the consequences of having this weapon that it forced me to essentially keep the weapon and break the law. That's the defense. Sorry. Yeah.
Because he's saying there's bad cops. He doesn't want to give it to a bad cop.
That's part of it. Yeah.
Wow.
So he's saying that he didn't want to hand it in to the wrong person, and so it is an extremely unusual defense. In the legal world, they would say that it's actually quite creative of a defense. So he's not convicted yet, so we have to know that there'll be a retrial. So there's not much more that we can say at this point about
And
his
and he
situation.
found the gun in his business.
He said he found it outside of his business premise on Smith Road.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All righty.
So
And the jury's locked on that. Are they sequestered or no?
no, juries are not sequestered in the Cayman Islands.
Okay.
So he will now have, it's called duress of circumstance is what the exact defense is called. But anyway, he'll have a retrial now. So that particular jury will be out and they'll have to start all over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, right. And in other court news, Elvis from Cayman Brac, Elvis McKeever,
Mm-hmm.
former political candidate and an advocate for no weed, no vote, has got a court date set for June for his trial. So you might remember this, but he was arrested, I believe it was in November, for a video that he did on social media. And the director of public prosecutions is claiming that in that video, he threatened some very high-ranking officials in the Cayman Islands, including the Chief Justice, members of the DPP's office, police, and even politicians. And so now they've charged him with two separate counts. One is transmission or distribution of material that was going to cause public unrest. And then the other one was Section 90 ICT, which is basically that you annoy or harass someone. So again, this is no doubt going to be a very, very interesting case. Tethering on free speech, of course, I will be watching this case with extreme interest because there is the question of how far is too far in the Cayman Islands.
Right.
And the bar so far seems to be set very, very low, but we'll see what happens in his situation. So that's coming up in June.
There's also a law making threats against somebody.
Of course. I mean, you can't, there are rules that we all have to play by.
Mm-hmm.
And there's definitely, rules that even Elvis has to play by. So West Bay Road is closed. We just want to remind people that as of Saturday, down as you approach Public Beach, there's a lot of construction in that area. So it will be closed until the 28th of the month. So please be mindful of that. I saw a lot of people on Saturday going there and not realizing that it was closed. So it will continue and remain closed because of ongoing construction works in the area. So it's just safer.
What section is that? Is that the one that that goes dead ends to Public Beach and then curves around to the bypass?
Exactly. It's right as you're coming almost in the bend, right by the Avalon.
Okay, so it's because of that new building they're putting up there. Okay.
Yeah. So please be mindful, folks. Just be careful. You know, it's a hazard.
You have to make a U-turn and go back down towards Governor Square then.
Yeah, and some of them are literally going right up on it before they're realizing that, oh no, I don't want to do that. So
there's another bridge there, kind of like Ritz-Carlton has, and a couple other places like near Palm Heights. They're building, it looks like another bridge, walkway access from one side of the road to the other.
Yeah.
So that must be
it's I definitely wouldn't be surprised because there's a lot of sort of foot traffic in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So of course it's for everyone's well-being that probably there's an overpass
right
of some sort. So so those are some of your headlines for the day.
Excellent. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy your day. We'll catch you back tomorrow.
Good stuff. We're behind the scenes tweaking a few little things for Bobo. We're totally excited.
Yeah. Are you going to go away this weekend?
No, not this weekend. So
okay. All right.
Looks like it'll be pushed back a little bit, but
we'll keep you posted on the progress this week.
Thank you. Sounds good.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Blake. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, folks. That's Blake. No Aaron today. He's running solo. Trying to get off this rock. I haven't been anywhere since, what was that? November of 2019. Isn't that crazy? But yeah, COVID hit shortly after that, really. And so what can I do? Getting a little cabin fever now for sure. But more importantly, I've got stuff that I need to do. So I'm trying to see how to arrange it and kill two birds at one stone. I may just take Gigi with me and do like a family trip. Take her and the hubby and do business and family all in one. Um, so we shall see. What a show on Friday. Oh my God. People have been messaging me all weekend. So happy Monday, first of all. Everybody's on the grind this morning. If you're in the cruise industry, I was trying to look at the webcams here at the port. We do have Gene who's going to be joining us at any minute. Let me just check on him. Oh, okay. So, yeah, we've got someone at the port, and we were already getting pictures of her. She's still a ways out. I guess these boats can move a certain nautical mileage, but of course, so yeah, just trying to give him some instructions here. So yes, the port is bustling this morning. So we're gonna speak to him in just a second. So morning, Virtuous, morning, Marshall. Like I said, Friday's show was just a little bit crazy. I was receiving calls all weekend from people in Jamaica. I was receiving, emails, everything about this whole domestic situation. And, there's just a lot more abuses that are happening in this country. Unfortunately, this isn't a one off situation. Um, it's unbelievable. I mean, I'm disappointed in us. I'm disappointed that we could treat people like that and somehow think that that's okay and continue to treat people like that. So the response from the general public was one of shock, and some people weren't really all that surprised, to be honest. And someone said to me over the weekend that someone approached them and they're like, oh, Sandy shouldn't have had this show. So I want to address that because I think, sometimes y'all really blow my mind. I mean, if I went by public opinion and stuff, I would never address any of the social ills in this country. Gene, I see you. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull you into the studio here in a minute. Yeah, I would never address any of the social ills in this country. It would really just be let's ignore everything. Let's ignore child abuse. Let's ignore thieves and, people who do all sorts of wrong. I mean, that is what's acceptable in this country. We're happy, and I've spoken about this on numerous occasions, but in this country, we are more than happy to turn a blind eye when it suits us. So we want to give people excuses for unbelievable behavior. So all the time, oh, this person's nice, or I like this person, or this person's cute. There's a cute factor. We had a staff meeting last night, and I was saying to Misha, a lot of people like Misha and they like the job that she's doing with the news. It also helps that she's really attractive. She's a really pretty person. And she kind of laughed, like, okay. And I said, listen, I wasn't born yesterday. I know a thing or two about marketing in news and video content and all this stuff. And I can assure you that if you look good, people are going to patronize you. They're going to buy your services. It's just human nature. Is it totally fickle? And yeah, but sometimes you get hired for a job even just because you look the part, not because you have the requisite skills to actually get the job done. So, Jean, I see you. I'm with you. So, I'm going to bring you in just a second, Jean. So it's not entirely unheard of that people give people a pass because they're likable. I understand the psychology behind it, but I think what needs to change is our entire narrative in this community needs to change. I don't personally care what you look like. You could be the most gorgeous person in the world. And I've called some of them out right here on the show before for their behavior. I don't care how much money you have. You could be the richest person in Cayman. It really doesn't matter to me. You could be the poorest person in the Cayman Islands. If you're out there like this guy who says, oh, he can't afford anything more than one bedroom to sleep with his daughter in the same bed, to me, that's just not proper behavior. So, I try to set a standard on this show where I just don't, as Aunt Lottie would say in her words of wisdom, I don't cloak up no badness, and it doesn't matter to me really who you are, okay? And I hope that as we're coming into 5 years with this program, that you guys really are starting to understand that I mean that to my core. I don't care if you're my friend. I don't care if I don't like you. None of that at the end of the day has any impact on you might be, a topic of conversation on this program. So the one person, and they obviously didn't say anything to me, they said it to somebody else, like, oh, I don't know if Sandy should have done this show. One of the things that they said is some mention of people's mental health. And I thought to myself, wow, we are so prejudiced in this community and so lopsided and one-sided. Now, of course, the big word of the day, of the century, is mental health, right? Sorry, I'm trying to put a little fire here this morning. So poor Gene has just informed me that he's ran out of data on his phone, so he can't live stream. As my daughter would say, when she rolls her eyes, she does the head like this. Oh my God. There's certain things that you know, things happen, but you gotta be prepared, folks, when you know you're gonna be doing a certain something, something. Anyway, so let me try to resolve this at the same time that I'm talking to you all. So I am always shocked and surprised. Oh my God, are you kidding me? This is just this is a joke. This has got to be a joke. Mm-mm. Um mm, this is a problem. Anybody at Flow this morning that can help me? This is beyond my pay grade this morning. Shoot. Is El Rey around? Anybody? Lord have mercy. I'm telling y'all, sometimes it's easier to work for someone else. Just take my word for it. You don't have to ever worry about these things. Other people solve your problems for you. So let me see if I can get on to Flow, get some assistance here. All right, so it comes online, then disconnects in a few minutes. Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, I'm always surprised really at the slackness that okay. Sorry. Mhm. All right. I think we may have found a solution, folks. Yes, honey chow. These are things you got to do. So let me just see. Jean, I see you pop back in. Does that mean that you have data now? What's going on? Someone is trying to bring you a phone. Let me just pull Jean in. Let me pause the other conversation for a second. Hey, Jean, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's going on with the data?
Right now, I guess I got it back on, but I'm just waiting to see if it's about to cut out again.
Okay, so I've got a young lady who's going to, I'm going to send you her number. Do you want me to WhatsApp it to the other phone? Or I guess that's not
Yeah,
online.
yeah, on the other phone, yeah.
On the other phone?
Yeah.
So she is going to, she's going to try to get you a phone that has unlimited data on it.
Okay.
But I don't know how you're going to get it because I think you're in an area
I just need
where,
I just need a hotspot, yeah, from that phone.
well, yeah, more importantly, how are you going to get the phone from her? Because you're
Oh yes, that's the
behind
thing.
there. Yes. All right. Are you, which number are you streaming from?
What'd you say? Sorry.
Which number are you actually streaming from? Just give me the last 4 digits.
The 9223512. The three.
3512. All right. Let me see if I can get someone at Flow to give you a hand here.
Uh, someone's calling.
That's probably her. Okay, let me pull you back out of the studio. And so we see some official pictures and stuff going on, folks. So I'm going to just pull him out of the studio. Ugh, what a mess. Murphy's Law, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. It will go wrong. Murphy's Law. So good morning, Louie. Good morning, Shirley. That's why after a while, trust me when I tell you, you can't... You got to prepare for these things. And you know what? Can I tell y'all something? I was so I was so focused on the one thing that I know is always an issue, which is the audio, that I didn't even think about saying to him, make sure you've got enough data. That did not even occur to me. But I'm telling you, Murphy's Law, if it's going to happen, if it's going to go wrong. So the ship is coming in. I'm getting some really nice pictures of the ship docking. Thank you so much. So let's see what we can do. Yeah, he's disconnected again. So all right, I put it in the capable hands of Flow members. Let's see if we can get it done. If anybody can get it done, I know between Lee and Dane and El Ray over at Flow, somebody's got to be able to help. All right, I shall leave it with them and see. So, folks, going back to we'll see what happens here in a second, but going back to the domestic situation, right? I don't think that you all comprehend. So when this person says, "Oh, well, what about Ruth Anna's mental health?" Well, do I feel sympathy for Ruth Anna? Let me be very cautious about what I say here now, because there's so much more that I know about the situation now, and I always want to be honest with you guys. So let me just be honest with you, as I always have been. Have I felt sympathy for Ruth Anna in the past, even up to 2 weeks ago when I had a conversation with her? I think it might have been a week ago, even. Of course, standing before you this morning, do I feel sympathy for her in this moment? Well, that's a problem. In the sense that the short answer is no. Because I feel like she's crossed the line, and this is someone who's acting with a sense of deliberateness. And let me tell you what I mean by that. When you hire someone to work for you and you cannot pay them, right? And they're in arrears 3 months, 4 months, and you still owe them all this money. And then you continue to hire people. So even the woman that she hired after her, who's been on island for 3 weeks, who's also now quitting because she already has not gotten her first paycheck, and she's like, nope, she's not going to put up with this shit, and she's not going back to work. That's crazy. Because if you can't afford something, folks, you simply can't afford it. There's no shame in not being able to afford something. And this is where I feel like people are going out of their way to live a lifestyle that they cannot afford, right? So this is the craziness of it all. If you can't afford something, folks, you simply can't afford it. Don't put yourself out of the way to compete with anybody in this world, to live with anybody or whatever in this world. And you know, let me see what's going on here. Okay, seems like Jean might have gotten a phone. Okay, good. um all right. So yeah, I mean, stop trying to live a lifestyle that you can't afford, because what you're going to end up doing is embarrassing yourself. And so when people say, well, think about her mental health, I say that, honestly, what about the mental health of this helper who's coming to another country? I don't know about you all. And I think that sometimes Caymanians can be selfish. And thank you, Jamila, for taking that phone to him, by the way. I think that people can be incredibly selfish. And, you know, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say, because you think of only one person in this situation and you don't think of anybody else. And to me, that's just wrong, right? So I'm just disappointed when someone says, "Oh, think about her mental health." And what I find happening more and more, because mental health is like that's a new buzzword of the year, of the decade, because everybody's got mental health issues. Y'all are so soft these days that it's unbelievable. You can't take the regular stresses of life anymore because somebody's going to tell you, oh, you're suffering from PTSD. The other day I was in my yard on Saturday. I'm going to tell you all this. I was in the yard and I heard the neighbors' dogs next door barking. And we have up a hedge now, so I can't really see them um, as much as I used to be able to see them. And you know that these dogs killed my dog Coco. And if you guys know how traumatized I was by that entire situation, I a little bit understand the concept of PTSD, because every time I hear them bark and I hear them outside, I cannot help but relive a moment of that incident. And I mean, it's to the point where literally it like brings me to tears. And so I was in the yard with my daughter and they started barking. And I literally said to them, "Shut up." And my daughter's like, "Mom, you're not supposed to say that." And I was like, you know what? You're right. I need to control myself because I'm the adult here in this situation, right? And so, hey, Jean.
Hey, how's it going? Right back at you.
Good. She's coming in. Awesome. Thank you, Jamila. CMR #1 fan. Got us back online. She just made it happen. See, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes y'all just need to get out there and make stuff happen instead of talking about y'all got mental health issues. Now, if you need a therapist, you need a therapist. I'm thinking I need a therapist to work through my feelings about the dogs next door, because I legit don't like them because of what they did to Coco. But you can't go around blaming your actions um, on everybody else. And then when people call you out on your bad behavior, you want to play the, oh, I'm stressed out card. I have mental health issues. I suffer from depression. What about the people that you're hurting and the people that you're doing stuff to? And you know what is so crazy? I'm just going to mute you for a second. Okay, Jane?
Yeah, sure.
What is so crazy is that right now on this, there's a Facebook feed. There's a guy who is having a live stream talking about this same situation. This woman, Ruth Anna's pissed off the wrong Jamaican this time. And you know what? In a way, she's lucky. And I'll tell you why I say that. Because what you have, folks, is a situation. I keep saying this to you all. Y'all be playing with people and their money, and you do not comprehend the damage that you're doing to people. And I even find it more shocking and egregious that you do it to someone who lives in your house, because you don't know what people are capable of. How are you going to be owing people money for 3 and 4 months and they're taking care of your child? This is where I know y'all ain't got no sense, and you clearly don't care about your child. You think I'm going to leave my child in the care of someone that I owe money for and that is upset with me? What? Hell no. That's why I pay my bills. When the school fees are due, I'm like, work a little bit harder to find those school fees, child, because they better be paid. I don't want people, oh, here you go. Take the thing I care about the most in the world. And, you know, I owe you money and you're getting pissed off because you can't feed your own children, right? But you must continue to mind my child and listen to my BS excuses about why I can't pay you. Because of what? It's just unbelievable. So right now, there is a Jamaican show that's on. This young lady, like I said, was not a person to be trifled with. And she has taken her story far and wide. And you know what? I almost do not blame her. How can you blame the woman? Honestly, how on earth can y'all blame her for saying, I've had enough after 2 years of this mistreatment? So right now there's a guy named, what's his name? He's on air. And folks, she has taken her show to Jamaican workers are being abused overseas. Jamaican Carlos is his name. I've never heard of Jamaican Carlos before. But Jamaican Carlos is live right now. Let's bring it in.
Show up. Nobody not show up. All of the people have to go back to the yard with them suitcase at Jamaica. Can you imagine when I left out the yard?
What an embarrassment.
Tonight?
Cayman Islands.
Yeah, make her little final love with your wife tonight because baby, make up miss yes, be about 3 or 4 months, baby. Give me the baby, what you gonna do? Make all the preparation around the home before you go far in and call people and tell them. Probably put all yourself in a debt too. Tell all the neighbors and your family say, lend your wife some money because you go far and go work. So lend some money, I'll take out all loan for your land or sell all the cow, all them things, people. A lot of things happen to people when people try to come overseas, you know. Come to think about it, you never come up on the island in the first place. They are Christian, I can't see nobody company. Enough people pack up a Christian with them suitcase. Never show up, never reach a foreign. Scam by them own Jamaican right a yard, so. I want the Jamaican government to thoroughly look into this area. I doubt that they're gonna look into this area. Bloggers have to come up and talk about this thing. Because these are the things they hear on a regular TV and a radio station in Jamaica now. No, not news. You don't hear bloggers copy these stuff, man. Bloggers have to pick them up and put them out there. So, but I'd like for the government to start look. Jamaicans are scamming Jamaicans. Yeah, right there in Jamaica, some never get the chance to come here. And when some of them go, all of them are Cayman. Even yesterday, this lady tell me in Cayman, she work how much weeks and then no PR. Them no PR because they know of her status. They are treated like a dog right in a Cayman today. And me I tell her, say, I don't go Cayman alone. Come and just meet some people up as last year. We meet some people right as Florida. From Jamaica. Who are going to the same thing too. Who are treat them bad? Another Jamaican. Who bring them over here already rob them at Jamaica, take them goddamn money. But give them work over here. When them come here work people, guess what them do? Them rob you hourly. They rob your salary. Your hourly, if you're supposed to get $5 or $10, remember you come from the island, you know? So you just a work hard to this company. You just a work hard to them. You don't know nobody more than work hard. So you believe you get no $15 hour like the American or $20 hour. You're mad. A Jamaica come from. I told them treat your people. Listen to Carlos, man. I really thought I'm making it. You think I get something about trying to pay as little as possible because they know you will take it because a little goes a long way in Jamaica. Because they are weighing how much you make in Jamaica. How much you make in Jamaica? $250 an hour. You know, how much you make in Jamaica? People must calculate all of that. So once they come and say, they might give you no American pay. Like, how much you get in Jamaica? $2.50 an hour. All right, give them $140. They're happy. I work like and people, even when they're getting $4 as a Jamaican, you calculate and say, oh my God, when I go back to Jamaica, I'll be all right. But what you don't know, that is nothing up here. and them go get you ready to work you like a slave. And when they work you overtime, them take your overtime. That's the part that pissed me off. That's the part that pissed me off, Jamaican. When a Jamaican take you over, say you work overtime, and they do not get your overtime pay, that's the part that pissed me off. So even if you get $4 over here, so when you look at overtime, can push you up there. So when
Wow. Cayman is making, this guy is, what is his name? Jamaican Carlos. He's in Florida talking about the same thing, highlighting this case. And Emma says, don't take mental health as a joke, because unless you suffered from it, Emma, a lot of us might not be chronic depression, but we've had moments and we've had to go to therapists, but you sort yourself out. And that is not an excuse for you to be able to abuse other people. So Shannon says, I agree, Sandy. I have family members that have used me as a punching bag because they have personal issues, and they always make excuses for the trauma that they inflict on me, saying, oh, I had a bad childhood, I'm getting a divorce. It's disgusting how people traumatize others, and then they make excuses for why they hurt you. So this is the point that I'm making, Emma. I'm not trying to trivialize mental health issues at all. What I'm saying is a lot of people are jumping on the mental health bandwagon to not be accountable. You either want accountability or you don't want it. And there are just too many excuses. Financial issues, folks, can be very stressful on anyone, but when you're the cause of your own financial issues, at some point, you either get professional help, money management help. Winning the lottery probably isn't going to happen for you. But you have to stop putting other people in a bad situation. Stop bringing people from halfway around the world, in some instances, from the Philippines or from Jamaica. Like that, like Carlos is saying, sometimes they have to borrow money in order to pay to even get here, to pay an airline ticket. And then they get here and they start working. There's an expectation, if you say you're going to pay them twice a month, there's an expectation that they will be able to send the funds back home. So listen to me, and listen to me very carefully. When that doesn't happen, you have 4 mouths to feed, right? In Jamaica, which is a country that will have no mercy on you. People, they're going to be like, what? I'm not helping your family when you in Cayman supposed to be working big time job. As a matter of fact, you're going to have more people relying on you who thinking that you're making the big bucks in Cayman to try and send back home. So, who should I have sympathy for if there's any mental health issues? I'm going to have it for the helper who was on the line crying her eyes out on Friday saying, do you know how hard it has been over the past 2 years for me to continually do this? To be placed in this position over and over and over again, where I can't pay school fees. My own son is telling me, stop working for this woman, mommy. Are you crazy? Why are you continuing to work for her? That it is hard to pick up and leave, because once you leave and somebody owes you money, you'll never get it back. Trust me, there's a Filipino hairdresser who people were telling me on Saturday that used to work at Ruth Anna's salon that still owes she still owes him money to this day. And the man still not get his money all now. And you know what he said? When I come back to Cayman, I'm going to be coming on Sandy's show to try and get my money. So listen, Emma, with all due respect, I don't want to hear about her mental health issues here today. We do have a caller. Honestly, everybody got mental health issues when it's convenient for them. I'm sick and tired of the freaking excuses. Good morning. Welcome to the Cold Hard Truth.
Good morning. How are you?
As you would say, blessed and highly favored.
Above all measures.
Yes, ma'am.
My darling, I just want to put in my 2 cents with immigration. Mm-hmm. We have a corrupt immigration. The government needs to look into this, because it is not right what is being done. Look at how this lady has exposed this immigration officer. What will be done regarding this issue? And she's not the only one. Mm-hmm. She's definitely not the only one. Numerous occasions I had to wait to immigrate.
Hold on 1 second for me, honey. I just see that I'm going to unmute Jean, because it looks like the first set of passengers are coming off. So okay. Jean, is that the first set of passengers coming off of the ship?
Yes, these are actually the crew members
Okay, so let's just get a glimpse, folks. This is the first time in 2 years that we have had passengers coming off of a cruise ship, as you guys will know, because of the COVID pandemic. So we've got the minister there. We've got Strand Bodden, who's his chief officer. We have the director of tourism, Miss Rosa Harris. And let's see who's going to come off first. The tenders are in full swing. And here we go. Here we go. Nice. So this is the Disney. Hold on, let me get you the full name of this. Just 1 second, Mr. Amelia. I know you're on hold. Actually, Mr. Amelia, hang up, and I'm going to call you back. I'm going to call you back in just a second because I don't want you using Empulo credit. So I'm going to call her back because we're going to continue that conversation. But this is, folks, the Disney Magic. It has 1,493 passengers on board. And so do remember now, folks, that there are certain protocols in place for this ship to be able to disembark. So the government has reassured us of our safety, which I don't know, there's only so much they can really do. But they had a press conference, a pre-recorded press conference over the weekend. So all passengers have to be vaccinated and their COVID status will have to be provided as well. So they're going to have that on the ship. So this information came out at the press conference on Friday. And they said that they outlined in considerable detail the logistical difficulties that would prove to them in terms of them coming off the ship and doing it. So I think that really they're having them do it on board. So they are precautions in place, such as testing of cruise passengers, just like air passengers before they embark on their cruise voyage, and the responsibility for the testing prior to embarkation on cruise ships rests with the cruise ship companies, instead of us trying to force them to do it as they're coming off the ship for our shores. So this is the first cruise ship that has returned. So a little bit of excitement there at the port today. And then what they're doing is they're authorizing the individual ships to allow them entry into the Cayman Islands. So the ships have protocols, and they'll only, the idea is to only allow ships that have sufficient protocols to actually disembark. So they've called this a conservative reintroduction of cruise tourism aimed at supporting our economy and allowing us to monitor the implications for a period of time. So children under 12, as we now know, will take the status of the traveling adults in their group. Guests aged 12 and over must have received their final dose of an approved vaccine at least 14 days prior. And I think that the ships themselves are doing some testing. So obviously, if they're having an outbreak on board, it might be the case that, you know, if they find out this information before disembarking at us, they will then not be able to come to the Cayman Islands. So they'll be keeping track of anyone on board who'll be suffering from any sort of illness or disease. So yeah, Disney Magic. Hopeful that, you know, that this works. People need to get back to work. Industry workers, tourism industry workers need to get back to work as well. Jean, can you hear me? Do you see anyone there wearing? Yeah, do you see anyone wearing a mask as yet that's coming off?
Coming off from the boat?
Yeah, I mean, doesn't look like they're that tender. Well, I see people working the tender who are wearing.
Yeah,
masks.
they were all masked up. Yeah.
Okay.
All the crew members and everything were masked up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, Jean. But no tender has come in with passengers as yet.
Not as yet. They're still loading right now.
Oh, they're still loading them. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we will pull you back out of the stream for a little bit, and
Okay, sure thing.
I'll keep an eye on it to see when they're coming back, and then I'll pull him back in. All right. Let's give our last caller a call back. My apologies that we're having to kind of split the conversation today, but hey, more than one thing is happening, y'all. So that's life for you. But yeah, so this idea of I must be overly concerned about people's mental health who are doing the wrong thing strikes me as so strange. I'm glad that we have a better appreciation of mental health issues, but I think like so many other things, sometimes we can take it too far. Caller, are you back with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, so I mean, listen, you're a little bit old school, right? So you and I, there's a lot of things that we don't necessarily see eye to eye on, Mr. Amelia, but I respect you for the positions that you take and your beliefs. There's everybody has their own belief system. How do you feel about this concept of in this day and age, everyone has something that's psychologically wrong with them that is an excuse? I mean, listen, I've had trauma in my childhood, right? I have endured things that some other people haven't endured. And I keep it in perspective because I also know that there are people out there who have endured far worse than me. And so
Exactly.
at some point, this is my philosophy. If it's impacting your life, and sometimes you don't even realize that it is, you go get professional help, you get a therapist, right? Or you suck it up. It's really one or the other. But like I just find it hard. I find it hard to accept that every time you get caught in a situation or in a pickle, the first thing you want to do is to blame somebody else and to blame your mental health or what your parents did to you or the trauma that you've suffered, or it's just it smells of the inability to be accountable. And to me, that is a problem, especially when you're impacting other people's lives. Now, Mr. Amelia, you were discussing the
Issues with immigration.
yes. So you think immigration is unique with the issues that they are having?
Oh, you bet. Because I mean, it's like I say, our part government needs to get in there to really understand what's going on and see how they can make changes because it is real bad. It's not. I mean, more than one occasion, I had to went in there and say this is not going to happen because it's against the law, and had to hold them accountable to it to see that it doesn't happen because you have some officers if they don't like the expat or the expat hurt them in some way or the other, that's the target they're going. Immigration. I'm going to see that you get off of here. And I'm going to see to it that you don't get another permit, which is wrong. Which is dead wrong. You understand? You and then I just posted. I mean, this is so sad. Hear how people are making Cayman Islands sound bad and look bad because of this kind of thing. And what make matters worse, some of them is our own Caymanians who is doing this.
Well,
You understand?
apparently a lot of them is the problem.
Exactly.
Because only Caymanians can take out a work permit. So here we have this morning now, Mr. Amelia, this Jamaican guy named Jamaican Carlos in Miami, talking about, and I don't know what his viewership is like, but here he is talking about what is happening in Jamaica, or sorry, in the Cayman Islands, and how workers are coming here and being abused. This is giving the Cayman Islands a bad name.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, Sandy, I had to went at one point in time. I had to went to the Jamaican embassy with a Jamaican national to see if we could get her involved, to speak to our government, let our government know that this is going on, this is happening, and it's not right. You understand? I've had issues where we copied, we print off a young man's from his phone, from his voice, from his chat. where the Caymanian was threatening the man if he didn't pay her before her money, because it was she took out a permit. She got permits taken out, and the person who had the permit had to pay her per month. And anytime they miss a payment, she would send him all kind of vulgar and bad text messages, and that they will never get another permit, and she got cancel the permit and all of that. We went as far as print that off and went to immigration. You know what the excuse we got from immigration? Oh, they can't find her. They can't seem to find the individual. You understand? Which is baloney.
The employer?
The employer who has his permit. You understand? Which is dead wrong. Which is slackness. You see, it's either one or the other. It's either they are friend, or it's either that the immigration officers who are approving these permit for this individual is getting a cut out of these permit and a cut out of this monthly. That is so wrong. That's not one another. You understand? It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter. You know what I normally would say? I don't know the day that my child have to go overseas and somebody treat them that way. That's the way Caymanians sound. For their money and you don't pay them, that's considered stealing. And there needs to be, the law needs to intervene. You understand? And they needs to be charged. Each and every one of them that they find doing this needs to be charged. And if they're working immigration, they needs to be fired. This is not what Caymanians is about. This is not what we are about. And they're saying the innocent is suffering for the guilty. That's exactly what is happening right now. The innocent is suffering for the guilty. You understand?
Yeah.
It should not be. It should not be. The police need to find these people. The immigration needs to get up off their butt and find these people. Enforcement needs to find these people because they know who they are. They know. They need to deal with it. You understand? On another note, the labor board, as another place, needs to be straightened out. On numerous occasions, I have took people who have been mistreated helpers to labor board and nothing. You understand? Labor board is another corrupt people. You understand? That is what we are needing and we're so lack of inside of labor board. I am so sorry. We have some wonderful people working labor board who tends to put their all in all. But it's again, the innocent suffer for the guilty. Because when you make one person look bad, you're making everybody look bad, which it shouldn't be. You understand? Because you really have some wonderful people who would work and do the work to get you what you deserve.
Yeah.
But some of them again,
well,
no, ma'am.
You know what, Miss Amelia, I'm not going to go as far as saying that all these agencies are corrupt. I think what is happening is there is a failure of the mechanisms that should be in place to protect people. It simply isn't working. So, immigration is issuing work permits, and I don't know legally if they don't have the remit. I'm trying to find this out. to say to someone, you know, we are aware that you have various labor complaints against you, that you're not paying your staff, et cetera, and you should no longer be getting a work permit. The same way that they can block,
Thank you.
the same way that they can block an employee from being able to work in the Cayman Islands based solely on a complaint from an employer, normally with no evidence whatsoever. An employer does a release letter and they say, oh, this person's a horrible worker. All of a sudden, immigration says, well, you know, we're not going to give you a work permit any longer. If that is the case, my question then is, why can't the opposite happen? Why can't the employee notify immigration of abuses, provide some, you know, they're not a court of law, so it's not like they're going to be, yeah, we need reasonable doubt, whatever, but provide some measure, some evidence. And then you say to someone who's taking out a work permit every couple months, you know, something has to be wrong when you can't keep a helper.
Exactly.
And if you have to take out a work permit every couple months for a helper, then at some point, immigration needs to say, hold on a second, what's going on here? If you got 4 or 5 helpers a year, to me, that is beyond a red flag that something is wrong. And so there just has to be this flashpoint says that there's selective enforcement of laws in the Cayman Islands. There shouldn't be selective enforcement. It should be enforcement across the board so that everyone is on the same even keel. If it applies to you, Romelia, it should apply to me. It should apply to Ruth Anna. It should apply to the premier of this country. It doesn't matter who you are. The laws are not subject to who you are. They should apply to everybody. All right, Mr. Romelia, I think we have our first tourist starting to come off board. So let me just pull Jean into the discussion. Jean, hello, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys. This is the first tender of passengers coming through right now.
Okay, so look, the first one is a little old man with his little cane. Mess with him. All right, they're coming off, folks. And then there goes a little girl. She's rubbing her eyes like, Mommy, it's too early. This Caribbean sun is too bright. So there's a couple kids that are obviously on this cruise. Jean, see if you allowed to interview any of them at all? You may not want to get that close.
Not at this point. When they get inside of the port, I'm able to.
Oh, okay. So they need to go through the clearance process and stuff. So they seem to be happy. Do you know if this is the first port of disembarkment for this cruise ship? Or did they stop anywhere else? Yes, this is the first port.
No, this is the first one coming down.
No, I mean for the ship itself. Is Cayman the first stop, or have they stopped somewhere else?
I'm not too sure about that as yet. I will ask them once I get inside the port.
Okay. Because that was one of the things we know that last time they were trying to do, which kind of, it's an interesting concept. I think it makes logistical sense in the sense that, you know, if they come here first before they go anywhere else, because they might pick it up in other islands. And so they can, you know, they can have that sort of a little bit more of control if they haven't been all over the place, and then we're kind of like the last stop or whatever. And because we're so close to Florida, I think that it is helpful if this is the first stop. So a couple people make an observation that they're not wearing masks. I don't know what the protocols are on the ship, if mask wearing is mandatory. They are outside. And I would be interested to know if on the tender, I guess they didn't have a mask mandate on the tender. So I'll ask the owner of the tenders, because I do have them on Facebook. So not Facebook, on WhatsApp. Let me see if I can inquire, but it doesn't look like we have a mask mandate. Because they are in kind of close contact, I would have thought that a mask mandate would have probably been a good idea. So let me find out. And then, yeah, because they're outdoors when they're coming off, I mean, there'd be no mask mandate once they're off of the tender. But I do think it's interesting that the tender has none. Interesting. Let me see what I can find out. Okay. So yes, usually Cayman is Disney's last stop. We see how they are lined up. Okay. There she is, folks. First cruise ship to return. They're open. They're outside in open air. They will need them to get into the stores. Okay, thanks, Rose, for confirmation of that. Patricia says this is the first stop. Good to know. And we have some dancers on display. This is a little bit more than they'd usually get. This is a welcome back ceremony here. It's okay. They're super interested. Why do people take such young kids on a cruise, though? I mean, I would be claustrophobic if I were like 5 and 6 years old. But of course, Disney is a friendly. I don't know what the cabin sizes are like on the Disney cruise, but you know, Disney's all about trying to pull kids into family. So Carol says they're outside, so there's no need for a mask. Come on, nobody's wearing masks in bars here, and they're more packed than outside on the dock. So yes, plenty of kids. El Rey says enough of the mask requirements. He's sick of it. Rima says no mask, no problem for the cruise ship. Just drop it for everybody else, please. Believe me when I tell you,
the second tender coming in.
Another tender's coming in.
Yeah.
Jonathan says the only couple stores that are open in town are owned by Kirk. You know what's interesting about that is that all of Kirk is actually blocked off. So you can kind of walk around the street and still get to the stores, but I doubt most people are going to mess with that. So makes me wonder who decided to start the Cardinal Avenue project last week with cruise ships returning today. There's something to be said for planning, folks. Honest to God. We'll talk about some of that a bit later on. So I've got someone saying that traffic was horrendous this morning. Yep, we are aware. Someone said the South Sound traffic increased 4 times its regular, just because of the so someone said the cruise ships are told by government no LFT and no mask, but air travels have to do tests and wear masks, and they're wondering why. What a mess. All right, so more tenders, more coming off. Some exciting times for them, I'm sure. Richard says, lose the mask mandates inside. It makes no sense in a bar. Bishop Hero Blair, good morning. He says this is really good for the economy. Sue says no Royal Palms or beach bars, restaurants, so wonder where they'll take them. Well, one thing for sure, Miss Sue, there is more than enough restaurants and bars in Cayman. So they may not there may not be a shortage of options. They can still go to, I don't know where. I'm not really a bar person, but I'm sure they can still find a drink somewhere, child. I wouldn't worry about that too much. I mean, is Royal Palms the only beach bar in the Cayman Islands? Or what other beach bars are we talking about here? They can go to the Kimpton and literally sit down on the beach. They can go to Weston and grab a drink and sit on the beach by the pool. Every hotel in some beach and condo has access to the beach, so they can grab a drink and go sit on the beach. They're only here for a couple hours, so I don't know what their plans are, but they just start coming off the ship. People just don't know how to drive. Yes. Joshua, good morning. Marshall says, I've had my 3 masks. I'm now just slowly taking the mask off. For some places I go, listen, I was listening to this over the weekend about how to decide if you should take your mask off or not. And really the overreaching decision has to be made based on the number of infections that you have in any given community, which means that you should be paying attention to the numbers. And then if you go into a very densely populated place, you should definitely wear your mask. Hey, right now, you couldn't get me in a bar to save my life. I'm sorry. That's not, the bars and the gyms are still really not places, and churches, let's be honest, are not places that you want to go where you're packed up on top of each other and you're singing and yelling and screaming and all this kind of stuff and drinking and open air and, people sharing their COVID germs. So I still maintain, I might go out to a restaurant, but, I pick my restaurants very, very carefully. And I still want to go where I can not be on top of people like sardines. So it's all about making personal decisions now, folks. I think the government has done as much as they can to protect you. And now you got to do your part, right? So get vaccinated if you haven't already. Vaccination works in terms of keeping you from getting seriously ill. We saw the poor baby, the 3-year-old, got off island on Friday, the air ambulance child. So many questions surrounding that. So there's the minister greeting people. There's Sir Turtle. Oh, child, that outfit is hot. Yeah, these people probably haven't been on a cruise in a while, so maybe never, especially the kids. I'm sure they're just excited. Look at them, look at the pirates over there. So there's the minister, there's Dwayne Seymour, Rosa Harris, and the Chief Officer, Strand Bodden. Marshall says we're still required to wear a mask at church along with the temperature check at the door. Yeah. So they've pulled out all the stops this morning, folks. Beautiful welcome sign. That looks like the boat captain. She just says they can look for a beat. Jonathan says there's Carlton, Fire, Luca. They have tons of options. But they'll find a place. Listen, cruise ship people are not particularly picky when it comes to sitting at a beach and grabbing a drink. I can assure you that.
We don't have any more grease.
Looks good. Are they giving away free food? What's that?
Looks like they're about to be transferred somewhere else.
Okay. Well, the port is bustling, folks. I think they could have done a little bit more to prepare the port area. Our welcome sign needed to be painted over, the yellow one that was looking kind of dingy yesterday. And I know they were power washing last minute because one of our astute viewers called them out on it on Saturday. And I said this before the government even got elected. We should be taking this opportunity to spruce up Georgetown, repaint the wall, some of the wall areas, have chunks missing out of it from Nor'westers and that sort of stuff. There was more than ample opportunity for us to make Georgetown pop with color. It should be nice and clean. And guess what? Sunday afternoon, yesterday, they were out there power washing last minute, trying to do the ceiling of the port and the fence. Which when you power wash a fence like that, all you're doing actually is stripping the paint off, which it might look clean, but it's gonna also look like it needs to be painted. So I don't know when they're gonna get around to painting that. It made me wonder who's in charge of parks and recreations. I don't know if this falls under their responsibility, but if it does, they need to be covered. Let me just be very, very frank, because they certainly were not planning ahead. And I'm tired of the slackness. I don't want to hear nothing about we got mental health issues either. Just do your job. Sometimes it's just about sucking it up and doing your job. Looks beautiful. Love the dance. Oh, look at the little girl. Shaking her little legs, shaking her little booty. She's like, oh yeah, I love this Caribbean music. Good man. Beautiful. Jared, he looks like he's getting into it. Hi, Jared. Are you feeling some soca music this morning?
Morning, Stanley. How you doing? You can hear me?
That's right, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, just enjoying the Caribbean Cayman Islands in Canada.
You're missing it in Canada?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Big shout out to YouTube viewers. 81 people watching on YouTube right now. 375 on Facebook. Thank you. Johnson said that they were putting that shirt on $100 an hour. You wearing that suit. Yeah, it is not. I think Johnson had this dude turtle right now in the dock. I don't know. Most tourists enjoy some turtle. I had this one yesterday, but I don't know that tourists are really into it. Yeah, look at the girl actually into it now. Says I got that all of the cruise ship companies are very happy to include Cayman in their itinerary. Without a doubt, I mean, we are a destination that draws a big crowd. People can start to unshutter their businesses and start to get back to business. Morning, Nikki. Miss Donna, she's got a little cutie. But she's dancing. Partly, that should be dancing shortly. Bless her beautiful island. Oh, Jonathan. Jonathan saying he's talking about the guy wearing the turtle suit. He's going to turn into a turtle suit. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is hot in that suit. I'm sure of that. I don't know if he gets paid, but hopefully it's I'll mute it. Al Ray is saying that the music is overpowering the audio. Yes. Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks so much to Jean for getting up early and being out there to be able to catch the passengers disembarking. Of course, I couldn't be in two places at once. So I appreciate him bringing us the festivities as they are happening. Because listen, right now, we're the only news outlet in the Cayman Islands that is bringing you this live and direct so that you are able to see exactly what's happening as it's happening. So great job. So this little girl looks like she doesn't want to leave the dancing. She is really enjoying it. Oh my gosh, look at her. So cute. Marshall says, shouldn't it be some sort of quadrille Caymanian music instead of wine, Miss Tiny? I'm just saying, laughing out loud.
Yeah,
Honey chow.
Marketing came on.
I can't say nothing about that because y'all love the wind up music, so it is what it is. Oh, look, let's see what he's saying. Hold on, let's see what the minister's saying. How cute is that? You're welcome, El Ray. Yes, welcome back. Welcome back to the cruise passengers. Oh my goodness, she's having such a good time. I don't think she wants to go anywhere else now. Her mom's like, come on, we got things to do. We're going to go watch the stingray. She's like, nope, I'll stay right here all day. I just want to dance.
I hope we not back out this little child in us.
You know, kids just look at daddy trying to get into it. Poor him. Yes, sir. Go ahead, whine it, daddy. You soon find you one next Caribbean wife. Woo! What a heat. He's like, come on, we gotta go. Are they speaking to her in sign language? Is she hearing impaired? I think she. Are they just using extra hands? I was kind of wondering about that because they seem to. I did notice the minister using. Oh, she's hearing impaired.
Oh,
She is. Aw. So how's she dancing? I guess she can feel the rhythm.
Oh, she probably can see because she probably see the people them dancing. She probably use it as
Oh
a
my
cue.
gosh. Oh, it looks like she might have. I don't want to say, but she does look like she might have Down syndrome. Actually, I'm not really sure. Kind of hard to see her little face.
Yeah.
But oh, that's so sweet. Oh, the compass is there. Let's see what kind of interesting questions they're asking. It was short-lived, whatever it was. Oh, that is so cute. Because I was wondering, I saw the minister say thank you in sign, and I was kind of wondering why he was doing that. If it was just because the music was so loud, but it looks like she is a special needs little girl. Oh, my sweet. Yeah, so someone who's watching on WhatsApp said, yes, he just signed thank you in American Sign Language. Wow, spot on, minister. And it is Down Syndrome Awareness Day. Today is Down Syndrome Awareness Day? Really? Aw. Okay. That's so cute. Yeah, listen, the minister is he's very likable. You know, he really gets children. Like I've seen him interact with children before. Even my daughter, it's like part of him is still a little child at heart. Oh, let's see what this vendor's up to. Ooh, waving, everybody wave. Hi, mama. What's up? Tell her hello, Fresh Jean. Tell everybody in CMR is watching.
Hi, how's it going? Everyone at CMR is watching. Say hello.
Sorry?
Everyone at CMR is watching. You want to say some words?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. My name is Glenda, and I'm proud of the cruise ship back here. And I want to say thanks to the previous government for Harvard. When he was the premier, he did an excellent job. And also to the now government, they're doing an excellent job. And if it wasn't for them helping us, the people of the Cayman Islands, we don't know what would have happened to us. Some days we make a little money, and some days we hardly make anything at all. But at least we're back here, and thank God, and we hope that everything will go well.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Have a good day.
Oh, I love her flavor, snowy flavor 8 stations. So she's got a little snow cone area set up there where people can get snow cones. Well, at least her snow cone looks nice and bright and pretty. So she kept that in good shape. Tour operators are there with their tour signs. And as we know, a lot of people actually pre-book tours. There's the minister taking pictures with a family. That's cute. Lots of people book tours from the cruise ships, which is a whole other discussion. But Jean, can you see if you can grab the minister for a quick word?
Yes.
Let him know you at CMR this
hey,
morning.
Mr. Brian. How you doing, man? How you doing? At CMR right now, we are live.
Okay.
I was wondering if you want to say a few words.
Well, there's so much to say this morning. Let me just.
Yeah, just rip that up. Yeah.
There's a lot to say, other than respect to happy days. And in the words of my good friend from Bahamas, Chester, today is a happy day, you know, and to see the faces, I really kind of got emotional just now with this beautiful little girl. She was just so happy and smiling to see and listen to our Caribbean music, dancing with our cultural dancers, and we gave her a little Cayman turtle, and she smiled the biggest smile ever, and that's what Cayman is about, you know, is selling that happiness, that experience that they will forever remember. So I'm excited today. First step, bringing back cruise. We're going to do this episode cautiously and watch. Make sure it doesn't impede on the people of the Cayman Islands' lives. At the same time, be a benefit to the people of the country. Working opportunities. Great to see so many of our former workers who was in cruise tourism back. Talk to them. They're smiling. They're happy. They're excited. You know, there's a purpose for this, and it's not just to get back to the same old. Now we start to recognize the importance of the industry, the workers that are here, the sales of the goods that we're doing, the entertainers, the dancers, our taxi and tour operators. So many people's lives depend on this. And yes, we have to better balance it, but the narrative that we should go with cruise is one that I think is misinformed. What we need to do is be better at it so it's a good quality of life for our people as a country, from an economic standpoint, from a social standpoint, from a traffic standpoint, from an environmental standpoint, but also from a perspective of our passengers who want to build memories, who will eventually come back to the Cayman Islands and stay long term. You know, it's our second major pillar of our economy. And if we don't understand how important it is for our economy to work, then we're misguided. It's so important. This is, if we don't do this, and we don't get this right, many people cannot go to school. Many people may not have food on their tables. Many people will not be able to pay their light bills. This is bigger than just simply cruise in our port. Sustainability, we have to do that and make sure we have a sustainable model of quality over quantity, and we're focusing on that, and I want the country to know that. But today is a really exciting day because in order for you to steer a vehicle, you got to start the engine. You can't steer a parked car. And in order for you to control the fire, you got to light it. And fires are good. Fires cook your meals. So I know that there's a worry about going back to the CMO, but I can promise you the government is focused on making sure that this is successful on all avenues of the situation when it comes to our people and when it comes to the industry. So I'm really happy today. Smiles on people's faces. So I want to send a shout out to my Department of Tourism, my ministry, and all the stakeholders involved. Thank you for stepping up. We got a lot of work to do. By no means, no big reason for just dropping the ball. We got to keep on going. I know that people are concerned about the cleanup downtown. We're going to be working with private sector in respect to finding out if there's things that we can do to help them refurbish and bring out the colors and repainting or power washing their buildings. We're responsible as a government for the Port Authority and the government-owned properties. But I've spoken to the Chamber of Commerce, new president Shamari Scott, to sit down with those property owners downtown so we can clean it up and make it pristine, because we've been known for that. But I'm just happy that we've got started, and today's the first step. So I hope that the industry is happy about it, and those who are not in the industry understand and appreciate the importance of it.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Minister.
God bless you. Have a good day.
See.
All right, folks. So thank you so much. Okay, sounds good. Well, Jean, thank you so much for bringing this event to us live here today so that our viewers could see a little bit of the action at the port as cruise tourism returns to the Cayman Islands. It's a moment, I'm sure, and a lot of people are definitely
not a problem at all.
And big shout out to, again, Jamila, who made it possible by getting you that spare phone so that we could have uninterrupted data.
She saved me there. Thank you, Jamila. Yeah. She saved me there.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Trust me. And big shout out to Flo.
Sure does.
They were all trying to get you sorted out. Important lesson there, folks. Make sure you got enough data on your phone.
Yes.
Get that unlimited plan. That
shout out to Dane. Dane was trying to hook me up too.
Yeah, man. We had Dane working on it, Lee working on it, Al Ray working on it. Everybody was like, let's see what we can do. All right, Jean, have a blessed day, and thank you so much.
Awesome. You too. Take care, guys.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, folks. So that's Jean coming live and direct from the port. I couldn't physically be there, and I wanted to be in studio because I wanted to continue to have conversation about other stuff as well. But thank the Lord for modern technology. Poor Miss Amelia, she's been on hold for a minute. Let me unmute you. Mr. Amelia, you still there?
I'm still here listening to all the good news.
Yes, honey child. Miss Donna says, how is she dancing? And Sue says she will hear with hearing aids. So I think that even hearing impaired people a lot of times can feel vibration. And so that's entirely possible that she's, yes, Rena says hearing impaired people can still feel the vibrations. Yes. So, wow, that's amazing that she was enjoying it so much, to be honest. And to then see that she's actually hearing impaired. You know, the things that we take for granted are the things that people who don't have the full benefit of really love and appreciate. You know, she's loving and enjoying the music and the dancing. And, you know, there's so many of us who can hear perfectly well. We just walk by it and don't even shake a leg. So there you go. All right, Mr. Amelia. So back to this topic of these people claiming that we should have sympathy for them because they're stressed out and that's why they can't pay their workers and why they're treating them so poorly. What's your take on it?
Well, Sandy, I just think it's something that you need to budget yourself for. You do not hire people if you know you can't pay people. Because just like how the talk show host said a little while ago, is that people borrow money to come to Cayman Islands, and they have their families back home who are in need, and it's a reason that they come to the Cayman Islands to look work is to feed their families back home. So, I mean, people need to be considerate and mindful of these things. If you know you cannot afford to pay people, don't hire them. Look for other ways of having or getting your children or your child care if you know that you don't have the funds to pay people. It is so wrong. It is so wrong. I mean, you cannot make right out of wrong. It is wrong. You know it's wrong before you do it. So, I mean, you just should not have done it, period. It should not have been done. No one would want to work and not getting any pay. Suppose whoever they're working for wasn't paying them. Ooh, they would have blow up like the big bad wolf in huff and puff in steam. So do unto others as you would like others to do unto you. Is what I would have to say regarding that issue. Also, Sandra, you touched the base with the situation with how their waterfront looks. Oh my goodness! Whoever is responsible, they had 2 years. 2 years we were locked down. Who is in charge of beautification of Georgetown? Does their front yard looks like Georgetown right now? And to see that we have a cruise ship out there, people coming back to the island for the first time and seeing the situation. Who was the brainstorm behind Cardinal Avenue? That is a question I really, really would like to know. Who is the brainstorm behind that? Who is being paid to get this beautification done in Georgetown? What is happening? Who is being held accountable for this? I would really like to have answers to these questions because Georgetown is a total mess for tourism to be coming back to Cayman, cruise ship to be coming back into Cayman this morning. I mean, I drove across there last night and I just could not believe it. Yes, they power wash, but the walls are still filthy. The fence are still filthy. I mean, for a point of entry.
Listen, the same point I was making this morning is you can't give right wrong and you can't give wrong right. And well over a year ago, because I said this during the last government's tenure, right? And now the new government, they coming up on a year. I said, listen, this hiatus, we could be doing so much from training Caymanians to beautification projects in Central Georgetown. Everything in Central Georgetown, including private businesses, they should have got out there and repainted their buildings. Everything could have been looking brand spanking new. That was this was a missed opportunity for us. And to be honest, I don't know why. How is paint that expensive? I mean, now because we mentioned it on Saturday, they're out quick time power washing, and oh yeah, we're gonna get to painting. To me, that does not show one iota of planning.
Not at all. Not at all. And I would like to know
power washing after midday yesterday. They were power washing the ceilings at the port. I'm like,
I saw the video.
why? Why are you
Yeah.
now doing that? I
Why
mean,
now?
listen,
Why now?
me can't take slackness, you know.
Sandy, what I would like to know is who is in charge of this beautification project for Georgetown. I am aware that
I'm gonna pause you there one quick second. I was just grabbing Facebook. I want to go look at the feed and look at what showed up on my Facebook memory from 6 years ago. My little Coco. Oh my goodness, she was such a sweet little dog. Oh, look at Coco. She was, oh my gosh, she was the best dog I've ever had. I think I said that about every dog, but honestly, first, because I was never a small dog person before Coco. I gotta tell you the truth. I always had big dogs. But Coco was like a small dog in a big dog in a small dog's body because she had such a big personality. She was such an amazing little dog. I tell you, I'm vexed with those dogs next door. They give me PTSD every time I hear them over there barking. Ugh, I have to really control myself when I hear them, chill. Y'all talking about stress. Anyway, Mr. Amelia, my apologies for interrupting you.
That's okay.
About Coco.
Yeah. So I would like to know if the beautification committee that government is setting up now, does they have anything to do with beautification? Which I don't think that would be possible, because if they're setting them up now, it has to be someone
No.
was.
I would have thought, and this is just me, I don't know for sure, but I think it's either the Port Authority for port property, because I know CC said, oh, we should go and paint it ourselves. You can't just show up on government property and start painting government property. You'd probably get in jail for that sort of thing. But I think the Port Authority would have been responsible for the port building, because I'm sure they have their own maintenance people and whatever. And then maybe the rest of it, like down by Hogside Bay and that sort of thing, maybe that's Parks and Recreations, because that's like a public space. So there is a department called Parks and Recreations, folks, that is responsible for the maintenance of like our beaches and so on. And I often question how good of a job they do, because when I see some of these public spaces, it is horrible. The garbage, the trash, I'm like, who runs this department again? They need to shape up. I'm just saying. Who runs public? What's it called? What did I just say? It's called Parks and Recreation.
And Recreation.
Let me see if I can find out who's in charge of that. Because they need a talking to, because they just not doing a good job. It's called the Parks, Recreation, and Cemeteries Unit. They maintain recreational fields. Let me see what else they claim that they do. Parks and cemeteries. So maybe that area doesn't fall under them. I'm not really sure, but they have a whole list of what they do here. Let me see. They have all the parks listed. Well, they need to get working on this list, y'all, because some of these parks are dismal. The Avenue, South Sound, beach access. So they do all the beach access points as well. Restrooms and parks and beaches, docks and ramps. Hello. So with the Georgetown, we got Georgetown, Barcadier, Whitehall Bay by Lobster Pot, South Sound Dock and Ramp, Spots Newlands Dock. Well, I don't see. I'll have to find out who's responsible for that. But somebody needed to see this beforehand. I mean, like I said, I literally mentioned it, and I want to say that I even posted it on, I don't know if I mentioned it in the show, if I did a separate post, but I made it very obvious that we have an opportunity here to really make sure that Georgetown looks good, if nowhere else.
We went as far, Sandy, is to form a committee, New Cayman Action Committee, which is, our main goals right now is to get Cayman looking beautiful again. You understand? We cannot. I've been trying to get a meeting with the PAC government for months to sit down to discuss these kind of things, and I have not been successful up to date. You understand? Because this is poor planning for for a cruise ship to come back to our island and find our island in this situation, or find Georgetown in this situation, along with the rest of the island. I have had people send me photos on the way to Turtle Farm. There's this big bulk of debris sitting on the side of the road on the way to the Turtle Farm, and all of this shouldn't have been. It is, to me, it is just poor planning. It's not reaching every corner before you make that final decision. You weren't supposed to make sure this is done, that is done, and everything is done before they agree to these ships coming back to Cayman and finding our beautiful Georgetown in the situation that it's in right now.
And
you understand? But I need you.
Someone also makes the point that what they could have done is similar to what they do with the the annual cleanup project. They could have put some Caymanians to work, out there cleaning up over the last.
Thank you.
They could have even done this 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Look at spots. Look at spots. The other area where if we have bad weather where the ships would go up at spots. That is poor. That facility up there is poor. I saw someone put up where there's garbage all out on the beach and on the side of the beach and what have you. All of that should have been looked into before today's date. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, it's happened. Mm-hmm. It's done. Mm-hmm. Get people out there. Mm-hmm. Get it done today.
Yeah.
Let's just get it done today.
Well, maybe they need to do it overnight now because we don't want our tourists to see us out there painting in the middle of the day.
Exactly. Put people to work tonight to get it done. Yeah. Uplift Cayman. Recheck and revisit the contract with whoever they gave it to beautify Cayman and remove them, because then they have faltered in that contract. They have not produced what was supposed to be produced. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Look, people who are willing to get the job done for these kind of things, who have Cayman at heart and wants to see Cayman beautified and cleaned. They're the kind of people that needs to put in charge of these things and to get who's willing to get the work done. Mm-hmm. Not someone just sitting down on the funds and abusing and misusing the funds and not getting the work done.
Mm-mm. What a mess. All right, Miss Amelia, thank you so much.
Just needs to hold each and every one accountable for their actions. And until we come together and get it done.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Jared, your thoughts on the situation? You've muted yourself.
Yeah, I got a lot of thoughts, but just to do a quick 2-minute brief, I did talk with the caller that came on Friday, and I did reach out to relevant authorities, it is I wouldn't say odd situation. It is a frightening situation that we have a number of not local workers in the local community being abused, and we have people not being prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Let me just clarify before we jump back into that, Jared. Let me just clarify something. The phone call I was just actually getting was civil servants. Okay. They wanted to make it very clear that all of that area is the Port Authority. That has nothing to do with Parks and Recreations. Okay. So they're listening to the program this morning, and they're like, Miss Sandy,
well, thank you
please notify your viewers.
Well, okay, I wasn't talking about the port. I was talking about
not Parks and Recreations. It's the port property, and so the port is responsible for it. Port Authority.
What's going on? I know the loss of director and deputy director.
Man, the director, isn't he still there until?
I know. I thought he
next month or something. Come on now, y'all need to get it together.
Yeah.
Don't make us talk about you anymore.
Yeah, they're up and coming. We're gonna give them a chance.
No. Hello, Jared.
No, I only
You're
say
a
that
young
because
man that likes to give people excuses. Stop giving them excuses. Sure.
I just because
Everybody got an excuse. Y'all lucky y'all didn't grow up with Aunt Lottie. Y'all be talking about mental health then for sure.
well,
Because she
Ricardo
not taking no
Avenue.
excuses from you. Get your ass up. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Get up. You got to go to school. You got work to do. You're getting a college education. I don't want to hear any excuses about how life has been so tough.
She sounds like a disciplinarian. She sounds like my grandmother.
Don't be too soft on yourself, folks. Raise the bar. Have standards.
True.
That's why y'all going out there marrying every Tom, Dick, and Blow Joe from nobody and nothing because you have no standards for yourself. No one has ever told you, even if you come from nowhere, wake up every morning, folks, look in the damn mirror and says, I got this. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to be an honest person. I'm going to work towards my goals. This is what I want in life. Have standards for yourself. And you'd be surprised the people that you end up pulling into. People are drawn to certain types of people.
Yeah.
When you're about your business and you're about getting stuff done, people
true.
will be drawn to you because they're like, yes, look at her. She not come from nowhere and yet she's still doing things. She's still positive. She's still accomplishing things. This is the attitude that we need. Can do that requires hard work and we must do it. We must put in the dedication. Some of y'all sitting down not paying people. Now here's a joke because we're going to get back to this conversation because I know, Jared, this is what you want to talk about. You can imagine that people sitting down not paying people a salary, and then they got to talk about they're not designed for a desk job. This is what they tell people, and people are like, okay, maybe real estate really isn't going to make you any money, Ruth Anna. I mean, it's a tough market out there, and you only work off commissions. You have an accounting degree. You have other things that you could do. Go sit down at a desk and get a proper 9-to-5 job, and then you can afford to pay his helper because you can at least make a couple $1,000s a month. And then the response is, "Oh, I'm not made for a desk job."
Well, you're in the wrong business. You're in the wrong
BBC. Hello, you're not made for what? You're behind can sit pun chair just like everybody else behind.
And you don't even have to sit at a desk to do your
Hello,
job.
I'm standing up. I'm not designed for a desk job either because my behind too big. And if I sit down all day, it's gonna get even bigger. But guess what? Get yourself a standing desk. Stand up all day. You want to be in the gym? You can stand up here and do squats while you're talking and while you know what I'm saying? Like listen. I'm being facetious, but I'm just sick and tired of the excuses. That's the point that I'm making. Everybody got an excuse for everything in life.
And we can't do that. We have to do away with that. That was for 2021, and we got.
Boy, I know when I used to go to Aunt Lottie with excuses, she'd be like, "I don't even want to hear it."
Yeah.
She didn't care. Excuses. She's like, and what does that have to do with the price of rice in China? It's just wrong when we're impacting other people's lives in a negative way and we can't get it together. Sometimes we're even impacting lives of our very children. That's the worst part.
Yeah, I want to shout out when I was jogging in Georgetown, because that is my district. I gotta represent Georgetown.
You go jogging in Georgetown? All right.
I do jogs in Georgetown. There's this type of truck that picks up the garbage on the waterfront. Whoever department that is, because they wakes up early, like 4 or 5. That's when I jog, and they take out the garbage and I was very proud of that.
It's not the garbage truck?
No, it was like there's the pickups, like the one F-150 pickups, like that they use for either which department uses it? Department of Agriculture, those pickups that they have right there, that what they kind of use. So whoever was picking up garbage in Georgetown on the waterfront every day, big up yourself, because it does look, a bit good and nice. In terms of the department of Georgetown, I am not the minister, not the representative of Georgetown, but it would be nice if there was some more care being given to Georgetown. I know we're still giving this government some time to get into it, but I think they should be abreast of what is not working and what isn't working. And clearly, how Georgetown looking good.
This person laughed out loud. She said, "I'm not made for desk job either, but here I am because it pays the bills." I can't believe the foolishness that people says.
Miss Sunday.
Honest to God.
I tell you what, when I work in 1 year as a junior administrator, there were some days I said, "Boy, I don't want to go to this job." And I said, Jared, you better get your ass up and you better get that money. Because if you don't pay that, if you
This
don't pay
person
that,
says, I don't want to get out of bed, but I have to do it. I mean,
like we have to do things that we don't want to do. We have commitments, we have responsibilities. It's part of being an adult. I don't like this cockamamie rubber knees two mouth thing where it's like, woe is me, I don't like my situation. Well, make it good. Because the only way you make it good is by working. And so getting back, we have our character being put out there on the public waves because we have, you know, somebody who just didn't do their job. Well,
You
I
understand?
came on and that didn't perform, and it goes back to when you
Well,
were saying,
y'all gone viral now. Y'all talking about, oh, well, CMR shouldn't have put it out there. Go and tell.
so why she should have had paid the woman her bills or paid the woman her money.
Thank you.
It wouldn't have gone out there.
This is what you must do. Go and tell what his name is, Jamaican Carlos in Florida, that he mustn't be discussing Cayman business and see what he can tell you.
He going to
what y'all must do.
He going to tell you a bad word.
You understand?
So we need to have the same way we have this responsibility about Georgetown looking good. We need to have the responsibility of Caymanians looking good. You see what I'm saying?
Does Jamaican Carlos do a show in the dark? Like there's no video? It's completely...
I can see why he don't probably disclose himself because he probably have a lot of enemies with what he is disclosing.
Oh, but at least he could put up a little visual of something. I mean, he's commenting here. There he is, Jamaican Carlos. He says he's a video creator. So I'm not quite sure. He got 64,000 followers. I mean, he not sneezing at nothing, you know. Let's hear more of what he had to say.
Do not have a work permit. They go through the worst. Did you know that, people? Oh, yeah. Carlos is going to break all these things on this show. I will have people calling and tell me what they're going through and their
Stacy on the line.
Who have had those kind of experience. More people calling because we are Jamaicans. These are the kind of conversation we need to start reason with now. And
next thing you know, Jamaicans soon have a Jamaican association in Cayman because we mistreating them. Y'all sit there.
Get a call from a lady.
Uprising coming.
Also. She in Cayman. She go to Jamaica from Jamaica to the Cayman to work. Them who are money. No one pay the woman. Them a whole travel situation over your head, the immigration status over your head. And you know want to come back to Jamaica, you know want this and that. Them use you. Some Jamaican even get used and spit out like an orange seed, and you can't report to nobody because you're over here working without a permit. You're not supposed to be working anywhere. So I saw them treat it, and these wicked people, them know say you're weak at that point. They know say you're damn weak. You're desperate. A desperation why you're dealing in the first place. Do something to go back home and through them know you're not a work permit. Them use that over your head, and it's happened too often to my Jamaican people. And they think all Jamaican people that happen to. But nobody now gonna talk about these things until a blogger like me pick it up and spit it out there, and we're gonna chew on this, just like I'm talk about the PATH program. And people don't talk about the PATH program yet, you know. Because too often we jump on a topic and we run down, they feel like say, everything we hear. We don't hear everything about the PATH program yet, you know. There are tons of people who don't call in and tell me the situation, you know. There's a tons of people who have not called in about the PATH program and tell me about the situation. So do not think that Carlos is just going to wiggle out, fight and go. I mean, I work some people. I don't work some rub out stuff.
Yes, tell him, Carlos.
Rub it out until they can rub out them up.
Yes, rub it.
However, people, there's another situation brewing. It's not only foreigners take advantage.
Carlos, we need to chat with you off the line, you know.
Jamaicans too. You have cruel Jamaicans too who are treating their own Jamaica like a dog.
That happens too.
Now, people. No, you know, without disclosing too much. Come and love me, people. Them. There's a situation.
Yes,
there's some people come work. You see them, you know, and they come here, and there's a Jamaican that get the work for them from Jamaica.
Yes.
It's a Jamaican who pull the string from Jamaica for them, you know. Get a bunch of them over here doing some type of work. And guess what the man do? Have them a work overtime. Guess what the man do? You're already a hustler for them pay, because they're not getting full pay like nobody up here. When the Jamaicans come up here and do the hard work, going through all these crooked men in Jamaica who claim them as some little work agency over here. So I slave them and come slaving out and rob on a richer one can go richer for uno. We say with Jamaican people, we say some of the wicked set of people to own Rastafari people this man.
Rastafari.
Some of you are the most cruelest.
Yes.
Now we meet some people up here, they are their people. Them come up and work. Them not so legal people.
Me
That's what I
tell
was
you,
told, right?
tell you, what a mess.
Get to understand, say the man who collect when they get them work overtime pay. People don't get overtime. They don't get remember, the man already rob them hourly.
Yes.
Hourly salary, the hour salary. The man already get short change from that. The benefit, they not get no benefit. The only place I get all the places to stay.
Maybe,
one of them bung
if
up
you're
in
lucky.
and that not free either.
Yeah,
Now, calculate it, the man. They look based on what you're getting for your hourly. You get money I take out time for your lodging too. People are fool. And when these Jamaicans work overtime, Jamaican who get the pull for them up here, take them overtime and don't give the damn people them the money. When me I hear this more, I feel bad. Me say, you mean that Jamaica will live here, so? A hustler for only will come here, so? Should be ashamed of yourself.
Yes,
and
they
who
don't
wants
have
someone
no
to hear
shame.
this, you know? You have Jamaicans who pull up these Jamaican people, so give
No
a hustle.
shame, no
And because they
shame.
know so them now have certain things, family. Them
No
use the crap out of them. I too some
whatsoever.
Jamaica not telling them what they go through when they go back to Jamaica after this short work program stuff when they go through. A lot of them go through it, family. Let me tell you. People call me hungry. People call me begging for things. Who come up here? You know these stuff, family. So I'm just let you know. So these are the type of topic we're gonna talk about. And people have been down the road who are gonna come back and go, tell me. So we can shed light on this. Because some boy in Jamaica them heartless and some girl. We need to get these people over here. Claim some have a look hook up over here. You get them over here. All right. You already collect money from each one of them to come over here. Because they pay on Jamaica. They pay on Jamaica if they get to sign up, they pay on out of Jamaica. They pay the whole of Jamaica to get to sign up to get the foreign job. They pay on scammers. They pay on. And when the people come over and they work, you know, these what Mr. Vidal mentioned when they coming on, my people them get up in there now. We not leave that low right there, so people don't understand how we work hard. See, and when the people that look also the overtime, when the people them forget, they make up their local money when them now get already because you already a charge change them in them hourly. You already teach them at Jamaica to make them sign up. When them come here, teach them hourly. And when overtime come, you
boy, me gonna have to finish. Listen to that after hours. Because the man is speaking the truth. We should be ashamed of ourselves. Folks, come on, man. This is ridiculous. Wow. I don't know about y'all, but I feel ashamed. Y'all not gonna shame, but I feel ashamed right now to know that we are treating, big time Cayman Islands, where you can go and make all kind of money from yard, and this is how them treat people. My God. Jared, can you believe it?
Talk the things, them son. They talk
My
the
dear,
things.
in our right.
Because you know what's funny? I reached out to a specific authority.
No, man. They said, boy, Sandy, you sound like Down. Who the heck is Down Fraser Church Sunday morning? Who's Fraser Church? I don't know where that is, but I'm telling you, something is wrong.
I had reached out to someone and I said, what is someone so gonna be doing about this? They said, people have to come to us and make the complaints. So I said, don't usually check to see how the Jamaicans doing in Cayman. I don't check. I don't have meetings. I don't say what's going on wait till thing. And they will say, it's an abusive situation. If people don't say nothing, we can't. I said, listen, yeah. When I spoke to the respective lady, Miss Sandy, the lady said she felt suicidal.
Yes, and yet people are saying,
something they're making it seem as if something wrong with her.
They're concerned about the mental health of Ruth Anna. What about the mental health of Stacey?
This lady has children too. This lady has a kid that's going to college.
She has 4 times the number of children that Ruth Anna has. Let's just be honest here.
And so
she mustn't worry about her 4 children. It's only the Caymanan that we business with. Y'all need to do better. Here, listen to this. You heard? You want me to hear it? Play it again? That means you're wrong. Right? More. It's coming. The Star, The Observer, Ashanti 365, Auntie Donna. I don't know who all these people are. But Stacey is going to spread the word far and near. Well, sometimes y'all go mess with the wrong person and you know what you get.
And so this is, I want to see how we going to pull out of this, because an apology would not even be equivalent to dealing with this situation, because this seems to be a long-standing issue going over 50, 40 years. So I am sure people in Jamaica are aware, or if you say Cayman, and
And listen, and I want to make it clear, right? This isn't a Jamaican and Caymanian thing, because
this is a whole.
I know y'all love to make it about that, and that's not what this is, because the Filipinos are being abused same way. A lot of them are complaining amongst themselves. Caymanians,
Honduran,
and the
Dominican,
job,
Cuban.
I mean, you know, some of y'all just don't know how to treat people. Don't make no difference where they're from. You just treat people like dogs, worse than dogs, because you wouldn't even treat a dog like this. A dog that gets to eat at the end of the day. So, yeah. Ramelia says, I need one of Cece's red flags. I need her saying red flag, red flag.
Yeah, we need to have her do a sound bite.
But we can't. Cece now works for the Cayman Islands government, honey child.
That's why I don't want to work for government, you know.
She needs to keep her job, because she got 4 children that she better be taking care of.
Yeah.
And we can't be paying Cece's bills for her.
Yeah,
so y'all just keep. I know Cece. Sometimes she feels like drawing out, but Cece, you take my advice now. You listen to Auntie Sandy, and you take my advice. Keep your government job. You got your good little insurance for your children. You can pay some bills, mightn't be all. So you just relax yourself over there. So don't get into no mix up with nobody, because you need your job. Okay.
And keep up the good work too, Cece.
Yes, Cece's been out there working hard, child.
All those good civil servants who follow the rules and do the job, big up on themselves. It's those little bad apples who seem to be, I'm gonna use this strong word, inept, which means they're not doing well, that we have issues with, and with people who don't do what they're supposed to do. But yeah. The Cardinal Avenue thing, Miss Sandy.
You know what the saddest part is you know, once you start to expose yourself by the wrong that you're doing, right? Other things start to get revealed about you. Lord Jehovah, let me just say a moment of prayer. Can we get a hallelujah up in here? Because y'all don't understand how much it takes for me not to say everything that I know sometimes. Y'all be like, oh, Sandy be putting people about. Do you guys know that I holds back a lot of information? Because I'm not really trying to embarrass people to that extent. But when you out there doing your no good business, Jesus and peace.
Praise the Lord.
You understand? I still trying to help you by not putting it all out there, because if the people really knew what a hot friggin' mess you really are.
Not even holy water can save it.
Boy,
Miss Sandy, you have reported on disrespected individual not only once but multiple times, and I think this said individual, I'm being very legal, because as somebody who is studying law, I am delving in the realm of, you know, areas that I have to tread carefully.
The wheel.
From the legal standpoint, this is somebody that used to own a business on Walker's Road.
More than one business.
This person,
the same thing.
This person
over and
used
over.
to employ people. This person was not able to pay people. The owners and the modus operandi, or the actus reus, who in Jesus' name.
Look at you going with the big time words, Lord have mercy. Modus operandi. Let me grab that evidence law book I have up here. So
no, because listen.
What is the actus reus and the mens rea?
Miss Sandy, who granted another
work
I don't
permit?
know when we know this person has a track record, and
This is what I'm saying. Is immigration not doing anything? DCI don't care. She's probably taking these out in her personal capacity, right? But I'm saying the same way immigration will tell a worker, oh, you can't come here and keep switching employers because that's job hopping and blah, blah, blah. We won't allow that. Maybe y'all need to think about the fact that some of the employers are employee hopping because they're not treating people right. So they have to switch them out every month. Sure. There's a reason why people will not stay. And hush about the working conditions and the nastiness that they expect people to be putting up with.
Yeah,
So this is what I'm telling y'all. Don't draw people out.
yeah.
When you live, and I have said this on numerous occasions, you live in one little crackpot house, and I don't mean a physical structure. I'm saying your hot mess of a life is like a crackpot house, right? It got all these little holes in it. You know, colloquially, we say you live in a glass house. Folks, when you live in a glass house,
Don't
keep
send
the
that in.
spotlight off yourself.
Do what you need to do.
Move, ease yourself.
Miss Sandy, let me tell you something.
Have you guys not? Did your parents never teach you anything? When you're up to badness, you keep a low profile. It's like, here's an example: the drug dealer who trying to live large. You know you're not earning money legitimately. What you must do? Or you want to go out there driving the Benz and gold, this and that. Everybody looking at you like, yo, you don't even work. Where you get money from? You're flashing cash on social media. You do not call attention to yourself, folks. Because once you call attention to yourself and you live in a glass house, you know, I just throw in one little pebble, bloop, and there goes the crack. And next thing you know, all you people call me, oh, well, do you know that she not paying school fees? Oh, you know, she go on and borrow shop money from people. Another $500 buying clothes in November from one shopkeeper, and all now she can't even pay a little $50 in that bill. Oh, do you know that?
Yeah, you know, after speaking with the respective individual caller on Friday, I too was given information, and I was like, as somebody who works with confidentiality, I was very inundated but not surprised, because you know I'm certified in mental health first aid, and I was more concerned about Stacey. I said, Stacey, how you doing?
Yes, girl, Stacey. Stacey's sitting down waiting on her money tomorrow.
You know,
and you know what? People even reached out to me and they felt so sorry for Stacey. They said, Sandy, maybe we can take up a little donation fund for Stacey. But I said that's one thing. And we can certainly do that, but that does not take away the liability, the legal liability that Stacey's employer has to pay her bills. Pay Stacey her money. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
The little Filipino guy that unrolled over and he soon come back.
Yeah.
Pay the man his money before he touched down Cayman, because the man say he coming on Mall Road, and you're going to be embarrassed again because that is an excess of 3-4 years now that the man I get his money.
And the thing is, you know,
why y'all trying to make me call you out? Stop it. You think I enjoy calling out my own Caymanians? You believe I like looking at a Caymanian mother who has so much friggin' potential and just screwing up her life right and center, and I want to be the one to call her out? I'm not that kind of person. Hello? The God's truth is, folks, I'm a girl's girl. I love supporting women, but me can't support wrongness. No matter if it wearing a frock or panties or whatever, I cannot support it. Right? I don't care who you're for, who your mama is, who your daddy is. You're bringing shame to your family, to yourself, and to your community. So I'm asking you, please, to get yourself together. If you need help, right? You need financial help. Isn't that man over there who runs another newspaper? Doesn't he offer financial programs? What his name is again?
Cayman Times.
Yeah, what's his name?
I forget his name. Ralph Lewis.
Ralph Lewis claims that he can help you. I don't know. But give Ralph a call. I think he does some kind of financial management program or something. So he's saying. Ralph Lewis. Okay, man. Hold on here now.
And people are here to support you at the end of the day.
Yeah, see Ralph wearing suit. Fun the financial counseling.
He's a business owner too.
Yes.
Yeah.
He says that he offers a financial counseling program. And my dear, you need financial counseling when you can't pay none of your bills and you're still out there living a certain type of lifestyle. And people watching you, and everybody calling me how she can afford personal trainer, $200 a session, how she can do that. Now, I don't know the woman business. Maybe she's not paying the personal trainer either. I don't know. I mean, we just don't know how deep the rabbit hole actually goes. But
I don't want to know, because it seems like a...
But here's what Mr. Ralph says. He's a former manager of the Cayman Islands Development Bank, so he's in the money business, yes?
You know how money work.
Aye, so him say. And according to him, this is dating back all the way to 2011, the CNS article. According to him, he is willing to assist you. He says the need for financial counseling grows daily. Well, you got that right. He has over 30 years experience in commercial banking and has held senior positions at CNB and the CIDB. And he also says it's clear that a strategy which includes the use of the internet and cost reduction techniques will result in a viable model while encouraging a culture of financial discipline. You know, I was reading a headline this morning. I actually took a screenshot of it on my phone. Look here now. Elon Musk, one of the wealthiest people in the world, I'm sure, or at least in America. According to CNBC.com, here the headline this morning. I screenshot it because I wanted to send it to y'all because y'all need to pay attention. Billionaire Elon Musk once kept his food spending to $1 a day. This
And
man,
you know why he did that though?
hello, because he had a goal in mind. He is a billionaire.
Yeah.
And at one point in his life, he had to say to himself, I must keep my finances to a minimum. If you can't afford it, stop flossing and pretending like you can. Because the same people you hanging out with, trying to keep up with not even the Joneses, the Ebankses, or whoever, the Bardens. Who got my name came out? Which name? The Kirkernels. Maybe you're trying to keep up with the Kirkernels and the Fosters. Yo, you not got that kind of spend. Okay? Be an Elon Musk. Figure out how to eat for $5 a day because that's inflation. So when he was doing it for $1 a day, he can't do it for $1 anymore. So $5 a day. Find a way to budget. Where's Siobhan? Siobhan, you on the line? No, no pension up here. Where's Siobhan? Siobhan is always calling into the show. Not on this program, but I've heard Siobhan, even on Ruth Anna's show, talking about financial responsibility. And Siobhan is really big. She's a little miser. You see her there? She don't believe in spending no money. She tell you, and I got it. That don't mean that she don't have it. That means that it is
She don't got to spend.
Yes, she not got it to spend. And I've listened to her over the years talk about how her children know you get treated once a week to Burger King or wherever you're going for your little treat, and you're not getting no more than that. She's already training her children to have financial discipline.
Budget, give your children a little $200 for the month.
You understand?
That what my
Woman
mom did
say
to
how
me,
she set aside, this is $125 a week. That is my shopping money. And I will not spend $1 more. And you're reusing. Listen, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it.
Yeah. 100%.
And there's nothing wrong with learning these financial tips. This is good practices. You reuse stuff. You know, my aunt used to tell me, this my Aunt Lotta used to tell me. She said, Sandra, you don't keep up with the Joneses because you don't know how the Joneses get their money. They could be stealing it. You see some people living large, the Canovas of the world, the Jeff Webbs of the world. Then all of a sudden, private jet does not. Then we see this FIFA scandal come out, and y'all be like, "Oh, I was envying his lifestyle." Well, I'm not envying his lifestyle, honey, child, because Aunt Lotta said, "Don't do it," because you don't know how they get the money. They could be stealing it. They could be selling drugs. They could be doing all sorts of stuff, prostituting themselves. You see some of these women out there looking good, and they can wear heels. And then next thing you know, they show up on social media with their behind being slapped by some celebrity man who bought them diamond earrings. And meanwhile, you were sitting down there begrudging the woman for her diamond ear. Oh, she got pretty diamond earrings, you know. Oh, she got new boobs. Well, who buy them for her? You don't know. So keep your eyes off of other people's things and their life because you don't know how they get it. And you focus on you. And there's a lot that you can do, folks. Oh, yes, Cameron says Michael Miles also has a good program.
Yeah.
Well, we need these people to step up. Somebody, please reach out.
He sponsor you.
Do an intervention. Because some of y'all need the intervention. Melanie says the Filipinos are also being mistreated. Yes, we mentioned that earlier.
And so is the Honduran.
I think it's egregious to bring people from their own country to treat them potentially worse than what they're be treating in their own. It's just not right. Okay? Here's one of the emails I got over the weekend. This is what this man had to say. I'm gonna post this one up later because he said, let me see now. I got so many messages over the weekend, chill. All right, so this one said, he says, "Hi, Sandra. It's interesting that since the articles on this subject, the topic is domestic employees being taken advantage of. He says, it's interesting that since the articles on this subject have been published on your Facebook page, that I have been contacted by a couple of people being subjected to the same issues. In both instances, after the women arrived here, the employer stopped paying them. And in one instance is demanding that the work permit fee and associated costs be repaid before their employment is released. You can imagine that's against the law. I'm trying to get permission to release names, etc., but encourage you to continue to root out this scourge as employers in both instances I know of are Caymanians. Y'all need to be ashamed of yourself. We as Caymanians are sitting down talking about we don't want to be mistreated in the workplace. And y'all want me to be the voice of the people, but I must only be the voice of Caymanians? And especially when y'all doing wrong, you have to be crazy. That's not how I was raised, folks. I wasn't raised just to have a nationalistic view only. I was raised to have a view of what is right and what is wrong. And it don't matter who you are. So you're a Caymanian? Kudos. Let me give you a little applause. Where's the world's smallest violin? That doesn't give you a license to abuse people. Where's that applause button? That's as much as you getting this morning if you're a Caymanian that wants to abuse other people. It can't work so. And I can't be your voice. I see y'all out there, taking money from hardworking people. One woman called me last week. There's a company out there incorporating companies and claiming they offer all these services, and they're taking people money, not doing the job. I gave you a fair warning. Sort the people them business out. You took the money, do the work. Because you will be featured next. I'm so sick and tired of the abuses in this country. Yeah. Y'all only want me to call out, oh, but Sandy, the Ritz-Carlton doing this, Ritz-Carlton doing that. Right? And DART and government and all these big companies. We call them out. I ain't got no problem with that. But they're not the only ones. So the same standard that we have for them of operating and doing business, should we not have that across the board, Jared? For everybody?
Yeah, and even businesses that do not pay back people their money when they're dissatisfied with a service. Yeah, Caymanian business owners, they do that too. I won't say the specific business, they know themselves. If I have to push it, which I'm not the type of person you want to put against a wall, but if you don't pay back that money in a certain time frame, Miss Sandy will have to hear the
Letitia
news.
says maybe they should purchase a copy of The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clayson. Just a suggestion. Oh, money management books. Well, we better try and add that one to, let me see here now. We better add that to a book club. Yes, The Richest. I just typed in richest in Amazon and automatically came up. The Richest Man in Babylon. Here we go. So here you know. I can get it for my Kindle for free to read.
I can find that for free online. Watch.
I think I better try and get it. There's 2020.
George S.
Yes.
But the thing, people don't like reading. That's the problem. People
yeah,
like
but they can probably get the audiobook too, because y'all lazy and don't want to read. Yeah, maybe we need to make this part of our whatchamacallit there. What do you think? Or book club.
Yeah.
Let's hear what they have to say. Hold on.
Your publication presents The Richest Man in Babylon, original edition, by George S. Clason. Read to you by Krista Lewis.
Financial planning, inspirational works on the subject of thrift, financial planning, and personal wealth.
Our prosperity as a nation depends upon the personal financial prosperity of each of us as individuals.
You got that right.
Personal success of each of us. Success means accomplishments as the result of our own efforts and abilities. Proper preparation is the key to our success. Our acts can be no wiser than our thoughts. Our thinking can be no wiser than our understanding.
Deep.
This book of cures for lean purses has been termed a guide to financial understanding. That indeed is its purpose. Offer those who are ambitious for financial success an insight which will aid them to acquire money, to keep money, and to make their surpluses earn more money. In what follows, we are taken back to Babylon, the cradle in which was nurtured the basic principles of finance, now recognized and used the world over.
All right. Here, somebody just messaged and said you could live your life by that book. Letitia, thank you, my darling. I've never even heard of this book. So guess what? I can be adding that to my Amazon cart. I can get the Kindle version for 49 cents. Or since I'm an Audible member, I can just use one credit and get it for free. But I'm going to read it because sometimes I like to read it. I like to read over a word and mull it over and really pause and consider what that word actually means in that context. So I'm going to get the Kindle version. It's only 49 cents.
And I just want to give a little secret tip to my fellow Caymanians. You know why rich people are rich, Caymanians?
Because a lot of them don't spend their money.
That and they read. They read. If you're not seeing it in black and white.
You guys also need to read the one about the habits of oh God, what's that one called? The habits of
Is it the Atomic Habits? Is it that one? It's not the Atomic.
No, this one is oh God, I should have this in my. I don't know if I have a hard copy of this book, but this one is about the habits of rich people. But I don't think that's the name of it. It's called The Millionaire Next Door. Y'all ever read The Millionaire Next Door? It's a 2010 book. Y'all need to read that book too, because while y'all sitting down thinking that you know a thing or two about wealth, and the people who flash in this and that, they're the ones with all the money. No, they're not the persons who not got none. Even the so-called celebrities, they're the ones that don't have no money when you see them living like that. Hold on here now. Let me see if I can get you The Millionaire Next Door. I thought I had this. I think I had the hard copy. I don't think I had the Kindle version now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. And networking too, like when you go to career
this is an excellent book because let me tell y'all something. This shows you this book is a study in people who have money, right? And essentially what this is all the things that you think you know about people who have money. This book will totally put those to rest. They are people who, and you know what's so interesting? This was looking at the American millionaire. Most of them don't even have an education like what we think, like a university. They're not the lawyers and doctors and whatever because
they got street smart.
But not only that, but when you become a lawyer and doctor, the one thing that you have to do is go to school for a really long time.
And pay off that
debt.
So
the interesting thing about second generation, their children, is they try to force them into professional jobs. And they're not the ones who making money. It's the ones who own, manufacturing companies, who own, garbage collection companies and all this kind of stuff. And then when they have children, they're like, oh, I don't want my children to work in life as hard as I had to. So you go to law school, you go and become a doctor, and it takes you 20 years of schooling to come out. And then you got all this debt from your education that you have to pay
accumulated.
Back. Yeah. It takes you longer to get to millionaire status, and that's not how they did it. Another secret of the Millionaire Next Door?
What are the secrets?
They keep the same car an average of, I think it was like 15 years or something ridiculous. They're buying a new flashy car every year.
Exactly. Miss Sandy.
Another secret of the Millionaire Next Door? They keep the same.
Even Warren Buffett does that. Warren Buffett does not drive any brand new car.
No, and they keep the same spouse.
Yes.
You know why? Because divorces are expensive.
You best believe it.
And every time you get divorced, the person walk away with a chunk of your money.
Half, if not.
You know what? We need some financial help around here.
Yeah.
For some reason, this one isn't available in Kindle. I only see it as a Audible.
Next Door.
And but I used to have this book. I don't know if I still have it. I gotta check my little library because I've gotten to read a lot of my books over the years. Because actually, I don't like clutter. And for me, I know this sounds horrible, but books are like, I don't like too much books around me. I'll keep them electronically. Save a paper, save a tree. But I'm going to see if I can get a copy of this book. Because when I read it years ago, it was like an amazing read. And honestly, it had some really, really, really good points in it. There's a lot of takeaway, and we don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. This is
Yeah,
the
because a
thing.
lot of people have already done it. We've had millions,
Yes.
hundreds of people live
There's
on this
even
earth.
a website. Go check out the website that says The Millionaire Next Door, dedicated to the study of self-made wealth. Here's one. Oh, they wrote another book called Stop Acting Rich and Start Living Like a Real Millionaire. That means you're going to be living like a miser child. Yes. Millionaire Women Next Door. Oh, they have a whole series. Oh. Child, I got some reading that I better start doing. Yes.
Were you able to find anything about Cardinal Avenue? Or that was
What about it, Shal?
Is it a done deal? They're really going to...
They already closed off the road. Did you not watch it on the CMR Buzz last week?
I saw that, but I'm like, South Sound increased 4 times. We don't have no new roads going up, like unless we're talking about the eastern side where they're making that extension. But the Cardinal Avenue thing is really, it wasn't a smart decision. Because if we can barely keep Georgetown clean,
the decision has been made, Shal. Nothing we can do about that now.
Okay, well, there's always an election cycle, always looming. So we'll see.
Yeah, don't be talking about election cycle, because it wasn't this government that made that decision.
It was a previous.
it was the previous government. Yeah.
And they couldn't stop it, pretty much, more or less.
No.
Okay.
There's certain things that you cannot undo.
Yeah, because financially and legal
it's
issues, it would just cause a lot of headache.
It's already a done deal, so you can't. Yeah. So make sure you know who you're blaming for what these days.
But
all right. Cameron wants to know what kind of tea I had this morning. Some cold hard truth tea. Yes, Jamila. Nothing but water. Cold hard tea. I didn't drink coconut water, regular ice water, y'all, because I can't afford no milk and nothing else around here right now. Okay. I'm just joking. Of course I can afford milk. I got a 5-year-old. She need to be drinking milk. The point is, live within your means. And you have to know what that is. You got to be able to sit down and work out a little budget. Lord Jehovah, I don't know what to do. Can somebody pray for this woman? Who, Ramelia, you still listening? Why didn't you say a prayer? Because you sure believe that everything can be solved by praying, child. So pray the Holy Ghost into this situation.
And I'm surprised that investigation hasn't been launched on the I wouldn't say credibility.
Here, El Ray, he should have kept my trucks an extra 5 more years and still be. Well, I don't know what kind of trucks you had, honey child, but that might have been the way to do it. I'm telling y'all. Yes. Y'all don't know how to earn money and how to keep it. You gotta start listening to the people who are the experts. That's the beauty of doing and listening. Listen, I don't believe in reinventing the wheel. I'm like, you know what? The wheel has already been invented and perfected. Why am I out there trying to reinvent it? That's not my business. I'm here to learn from other people. Hang out. Hey, there's nothing wrong with hanging out with people who have money, because you can observe their movements and you can learn a thing or two. The problem with y'all be trying to hang out with them to live like them. And that's where you go wrong. Right?
Or even shadow them.
They get in a fancy car every week. I must get one too. No, Bobo. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And to some extent, we've all been in this situation where we've been living we've made a purchase that you're like, oh, I shouldn't get that kind of way. I really can't afford it, whatever. Do better.
Yeah.
Maybe she just needs a good friend who can guide her along the way. Boy, whenever I feel like making a certain purchase, my husband be like, what do you think we need to buy? Why do we need to have a big wedding to invite people?
That's why.
Yo, I gotta respect that man, because even when we're like, okay, we're gonna get married, what should we do? He was like, how about we just elope? It's nobody's business if we don't have no time. Because the $50,000 we're going to spend on a wedding could be a partial down payment on a house in the Cayman Islands.
Hello, buying a piece of property in Cayman, right now, that's going to be $1 million in 50 years.
Exactly. I was like, you know what? The man has a point.
And funny enough, because socially, there's social dynamics to it. Because women like. Okay, let me not say that.
Well,
women like to be when a woman get married, Miss Sandy, a woman want people to see
Well,
she get
because you only
married.
the
You
idea
see
is
what
you're
I
supposed to
say?
only be doing it once, and so yes, you might want to go all out.
And
And
you see, for a man, Miss Sandy, I don't mind sleeping on the floor with a bed and a sheet, and all that money still come in. Cause either way, if I sleep on a king size bed, the money still going to come in. What difference if it make if I sleep on the floor and I have the TV on the floor? It worked though. The bills get paid though. You know.
True.
So
And you don't mess up your name, because listen, that's another thing Aunt Laura used to tell you. Once you mess
your
up your
name,
name, hello, that's it. Your name's salt.
especially in Cayman, we don't need CCTV. We got eyes. We got
Boy,
people eyes. So
try go get credit after you mess that up. Try and go find a place to rent now after you've been evicted from 5 places, and you can see how hard it's going to be. Because everybody now, they're like, oh, I need a reference from the last place you rented from. You know, even people, like, you start mistreating people that work for you, and the word gets around. That's one thing about the Filipino community. They believe in networking. They can tell people,
they don't
work for this woman. She gonna
Yeah.
treat you bad. Rhonda says, good morning, Sandra. Good information. We had a good rain shower in West Bay, excuse me, but we must not let our minds drift away from past governments for many years. The guy Lumsden was put in charge of the Georgetown Beautification Committee. I don't think that's what it is. He's in charge of the Georgetown revitalization committee, not beautification. That's a totally different situation.
Okay, so
She says, let's not jump too far afraid and blame this government, but what we can do is let's start with the Department of Tourism, the department who have to inspect some of the restaurants, condos, and hotels. Sandra, some of these restaurants and restrooms are in a bad condition and has, the inspection division. And some of that falls under
Department of Environmental Health.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they can be real pains in the rear when they're ready with little small businesses and they want to license them. And then other people, you wonder how they still have a place that's open. Cockroaches walking on the wall and all kind of stuff when you're trying to order food.
Yeah, I saw some dumping going on up in East End, up High Rock, where the mental health facility is supposed to be starting up with some bush in the corner. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but I don't know.
So Virtuous says, if you're wrong, you're wrong. If you watch wrongdoing and you don't try to stop it, do something about it, you're just wrong. All right, folks, let's end the program today with a little bit of it's 6 minutes, a little video here based on The Millionaire Next Door, some financial advice. Let's just assume that we all need some financial advice and we could all be making some improvements in our lives, folks. It is what it is. There is no shame whatsoever in saying that you need help, right? I got a friend right now. She's listening to the program. She's a little bit older. She's a businesswoman. Damn, I admire her. That woman has accomplished some amazing things in her life. She's been rock bottom and she's been able to pull herself up. No fault of her own why she was rock bottom, because she had a husband kind of like this situation, spending money that he never had, spending her money and the business money and everything else, driving the business into the ground. Then up and left her when things got really, really hot. And she has turned 30 years in business, she has turned it around, and she's a good example, folks, of how you do it. You don't have to live like a millionaire. You can live comfortably and still pay your bills, and more importantly, still have some money in the bank. And when I look at her, I think to myself, this is what I am trying to achieve, right? This is it. Where you can afford to take a little vacation and you're not gonna go and borrow bank loan money to go and take a vacation. That don't make no sense. There's certain things that you should not be engaging in, right? You got credit card bills that you can't pay. You're taking out loan payments and you can't make your loan obligations. Thank you, Lord, that I can say right now, I only have a mortgage and I got no car payments, right? I don't have no credit cards. I might get a business credit card because sometimes for travel, you want to have the protection that comes with that, but not to be going out there spending it. And I got to stick that all the way in the drawer and forget that I have it. And these are the little things that you must be committed to. It's little baby steps that get you to the big picture. In my closet right now, let me give you a joke. Jared and everybody else listen. Still 250 something of y'all listen to the program. I was saying to my husband, I'm planning this little trip to Miami, and I said to him, I think I might have to buy some new nightgowns. And he was like, oh, him not thinking I go and buying something sexy. I was like, no, honey child. But the nightgowns that I have, I'm surprised they've lasted as long as they have. I must have had them I remember purchasing them from J.C. Penney's, I think out by Sawgrass or something, when they had some closing down sale or something. I would be lying if I tell you that they're probably not at least 15 years old or more. And I bought like a bunch of them. They all look the same. You can't read the tag anymore. That's faded off all the washes that they've had over the years. And I wear them all the time. I mean, they're still covering me at night, right? They're not nothing fancy. They're not sexy, whatever. But I have gotten my money's worth. I don't know how much I paid for them, but when I tell you I've gotten my money's worth out of them, believe me when I tell you.
You built that boy.
Yo, my wardrobe, I need to refresh like all my tops. I'm like, oh my God, these tops are starting to look a little bit, like I need to. So people gonna be wondering, they're like, Sandra can't afford to buy clothes. So I'm like, I gotta buy a couple of clothes now.
Just spruce up yourself. But you know something? My nana, she must have had 14 kids, and I don't know what nightgown she had, but that nightgown was working for her though.
Yo. Let's be honest, men don't really care about that anyway, because they just want to pull it off. So hello.
Really don't care. Listen.
No, but I mean, you don't want to listen. Shoes, some shoes I have had forever, and they just last. You buy decent. My aunt always said one thing about her. She said, "Buy good shoes, because your feet are important. They support your entire body. So don't go to no Payless. So you've never catch me in a freaking Payless store." She said, "Don't go Payless and buy something that can be making your foot stink." And then in 2 weeks, they fall off your foot, fake leather and all kind of stuff. So I must say that when I buy shoes now, I believe in buying good shoes.
Yes.
But you buy good shoes and they can last you a long time. You know what, Aunt Lorna, listen, she said, if you have one outfit, it's not nobody business. You got one pair of drawers, you wash it, you make sure you're clean now, because cleanliness is next to godliness. Y'all know how that go. So you got to get up every morning and you got the one pair, you got to wash it. So don't be going on people stinking and like you're acting like you're dirt poor. So you have standards. You wash your clothes, you put yourself together. But shoes can last forever. There are things that we buy, like we don't have to be replacing stuff and trying to keep up. And I go out this weekend, so I must go get a whole new outfit. New outfit for what? The people looking at you doing business really with what you're wearing, especially when your name's salt on the street. When everybody talking about you can't pay your bills, you think that they care? All right. Loved Lopez that Cayman and a whole love to show off and live above their means. Not just Cayman.
Jamaica.
US, Canada. Nobody can't touch Jamaicans when it comes to living large. Hello. I be watching y'all, me go Kingston and me see you living in Tivoli Garden, but you're still driving the biggest Benz in all of Kingston. You want to come to work in a helicopter and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, what? I'm like, why? Nobody in Jamaica. I mean, for me, it's a safety issue. I'm like, I don't want to be living large in Jamaica. I want to pretend like I'm the poorest person on the block.
That's how you for run the
I'll never forget. I'm going to tell y'all one story, right? So years ago, I went to, this is when I went back after law school and did the PPC. So you guys know I took a break between law school and doing the PPC, right? Mm-hmm. So this would have been around 2010 when I went back, because this was 2009, 2010. They accused me of stealing one fufu dog that had cross-eye. And I was like, if I can steal a dog, I can steal a good-looking dog. Y'all ain't got no sense. Anyway, the judge threw out the case and whatever. And then I started thinking about the inequities in the legal system. I said, you know what? I'm going to go back, finish the PPC in case I ever want to practice law. So, all right, me gone now about my business. So me gone now and set up, do the PPC. And so that year we were going to St. Petersburg. I think it was, what's the law school there in Florida? Oh Lord, it's a small school, but it has a very, very good reputation as a law school. I can't remember the name of it now. Anyway, great law school and whatever. And they're like, we're gonna go and do the debate. So we're doing like Caribbean debate teams in Florida, whatever. So I'm like, all right. So I'm part of the representatives that went with the Cayman contingency. And of course, I get in there and look like nobody else can drive in the U.S. but me. So the Jamaican crew, they're like, oh, you got a car? You know how to drive? I'm like, yes, honey child. Me used to live stateside still, you know. So one girl from Jamaica, this white Jamaican girl, she's like, oh, I'd like to come with you. Oh, really prim and proper. But I liked her. She had a good heart, you know. Don't always judge people on the first, but nobody else liked her because she was like so prim and proper, one of them uppity. Yes, uptown Jamaicans, right? So everybody like, even in the Bahamians are like, oh man, I like her. I mean, I like her style. She too flashy. So, you know, I'm like, oh, leave the poor girl alone. Don't be a mean girl, you know? First of all, I'm the only one with a vehicle, and all y'all want to ride with me. So if you want to ride with me, you have to be nice. You can't be a mean girl. Okay. So let's go to the mall and we'll all be happy. You get your little shopping on and whatever. So I started talking to her. You know, we're still Facebook friends. She is a really nice girl. So I hear her talking about, oh, I would like to go to the I want to go to the I'll name some labels, some women's labels for me now. Oh Lord have mercy. I don't even know.
Sephora, Ulta Beauty, Chanel.
Yeah, like I need to go buy a dress and it has to be a Chanel, it has to be this and all these name brands. I hear her throwing out all these brands. So I say to her, I say, honey child, why you have to go and buy all these name brands? Like what's the deal here? Like really? Oh, but this is all that I wear. And then I said, all right. And I said, you ever heard of something called bargain shopping? Have you ever heard of TJ Maxx and Ross? No, I can't find anything when I go there. I said, you don't know how to shop. That's what your problem is. Okay. Because it's last season's dress. You think anybody business with that? Somebody look at you. They don't know if that's a 2020 dress or 2020. This is not couture. You're not on the red carpet at Paris Fashion Week. You're not that. You live in Jamaica, honey child. Nobody really cares to that extent. And do you know that I took this girl under my wing and I said, I'm going to teach you how to shop on a budget, especially when it comes to clothes, because child, I can find me a bargain. So I took her to TJ Maxx and I said, you know, I actually used to work in retail, so I understand a thing or two about how they lay out the store and how the second you walk in, all the new releases are right there. That's going to be the most expensive stuff because they want you to see that first. They want you to grab that first. I showed her how you got to go beyond that. You got to go into the racks.
Go to the back.
Delve into the racks. And you just need a keen eye and you can find really good stuff. And you need to know how to look it over because it might have a little, the stitching was done wrong in the seam. Who coming up to you looking at the stitching on your dress? Nobody no business with that. Honey child, $250 later. Can I tell you she had a bag full of new dresses that she could take back to Jamaica and pretend like she paid full price for them?
Now, what did you call it?
I'm like, you don't have to tell people your business. You don't have to tell them that, you know, you bought an Anne Klein dress from TJ Maxx. They might think you actually went to the Anne Klein store. I mean, good on them. But y'all be concerned about walking around with labels. To me, it doesn't even make any sense. Really? Who cares? So it's not just Caymanians trying to live large, child. It's all kind of people. The whole dance hall community of Jamaica is all about living larger than you possibly could ever live. The whole thing is about living a lifestyle. You have to be a boss.
That you try to get to.
Yeah, that you're trying to achieve. And it just does not make any sense. So bring it down a couple notches and live within your means. If you can't afford to go out for dinner, then don't go out for dinner. Limit it. Do like Siobhan. You go into Burger King once a week. If you listen enough to this program, you might win yourself a gift certificate and you can eat for free. Cook at home because then you can split up your meals.
Eat the chili. Eat the oats. Miss Sandy, in Canada. You know, I run through oats and chili like it. I ain't trying.
And I bet you're keeping your belly warm, though.
I tell you, that soup. I ain't trying to impress nobody in Canada.
Right. These are the things that you gotta really try to focus on, and it's all about the end goal. You know, if you're trying to get somewhere in life, sometimes you have to make the sacrifices now.
Yes, so you can get the big things.
And this is one of the big problems. El Linda, Dawn, and others. I know y'all having a good laugh this morning, but listen, this is one of the biggest problems: is that you look at people in life. People want to sit down and even watch me, for example. Oh, Sandy doing this and Sandy doing. You don't know what I doing, first of all, and you also don't know the sacrifices that I have made along the way to get where I am. And that's everybody's story. Oh, this person got a certain house. You don't know nothing about their affairs, their financial affairs, and you don't know all the sacrifices that they've made. You don't know when they wasn't able to even know where the next meal was coming from, when they were sacrificing in university to get that piece of paper, right? And they didn't know how they were going to eat. They were buying the extra large pizza and sharing it amongst 4 friends so that dinner was $2 a slice or less.
Run the thing, man.
You understand? This is the reality. You can see the glory, but don't know the story. That's why you don't begrudge people, because you don't know how they get what they got. Good morning, Miss Loretta. Oh, Popeye, gift certificate. I think I need to get some more. I feel like I've run out. But anyway, don't you worry yourself about that, child. We got it on lockdown. Hello, Soka. She says, one thing I try to do is avoid name brand clothes, not advertising for none of them. Yes, Soka, why not?
Wear the plain shirt, plain color shirt.
You understand?
White shirt, khaki brown pants. Make you look like say you some executive. That's how you gotta do it. But anyway, Miss Sandy, I leave you. I have
Yes,
some.
my dear.
Yeah, you have a good one.
All right, my dear child. Jared, thank you so much. All right, so let's watch this video. Now I'm gonna watch the numbers, and I don't want a single one of y'all to log off, because if you really care about this topic, Linda says, true talk. Good morning to Paul. We all have to do better, right? And we all can make improvements in all areas of our lives. So I'm gonna play this video. It's called The Millionaire Next Door. Very, very short video about financial stability, save more and spend less. And I hope that you'll learn something from this little segment. Have a blessed day, folks. It's Monday. It's a beautiful week ahead. We got lots of things that we're going to be working on here. Just, do your best to do right by people. I hate to see that Stacy is in this position. Stacy, there's a few people who reached out who want to give you a little something. Let me know if you're willing to take that until you get your pay, hopefully tomorrow. So at least you can buy a couple groceries and that sort of thing. All right. All right, folks, here you go. Enjoy this segment and enjoy the rest of your day as well.
Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley. Summary from 4 Minute Books. Written by Nicholas Gucca and read to you by Abby Wall. 1-sentence summary. The Millionaire Next Door shows you the simple spending and saving habits that lead to more cash in the bank than most people earn in their life, while helping you avoid critical mistakes on your way to financial independence. Favorite quote from the author: whatever your income, always live below your means. Thomas J. Stanley. It always makes me sad to hear a great author has died of unnatural causes. In Thomas J. Stanley's case, it was a drunk driver who tried to cut him off in traffic, crashing into his Corvette, one of his few luxuries, and fatally injuring him at 71 years old. The Millionaire Next Door, which funnily made him and his co-author millionaires, was published in 1996 and has sold over 3 million copies to date. Stanley was obsessed with studying the wealthy, whom he called the affluent, and what discerns them from those he calls UAWs, under accumulators of wealth. As it turns out, becoming a millionaire is not rocket science, just a matter of planning well, living below your means, and avoiding a few stupid mistakes. Want to know how? Use these 3 rules to improve your chances of ending up with $1 million in the bank. 1. Save responsibly from the moment you first start earning more than you need to live. 2. Use this simple formula to calculate if you're falling short of your financial potential. 3. Avoid economic outpatient care to reach your goal. Committed to making your dream of financial independence come true? Let's see if you can keep these rules. Lesson 1. Save responsibly from the moment you first start earning more than you need to live. Most people think the only way to become a millionaire is to earn at least $1 million a year for a couple of years. But even if you're one of the top earners in the world, taxes will eat away roughly 50% of your annual income. Deduct living expenses, maybe a mortgage, and a few vacations, and you might end up with just $200,000 if you're lucky. However, that would indeed make you lucky, because you never even have to earn $1 million in a year in order to become a millionaire. Not with this one rule, anyways. The moment you earn more than you need to live, save as much as you responsibly can, and avoid spending cash on things you don't need. Budgeting well and living a frugal life is really all you need to build wealth, especially if you're still young. Around 55% of all millionaires attest their wealth simply to being deliberate about their finances and disciplined saving. Note, for the youngsters, if you're not out of college yet, remember this at all costs. Haha. So you can instantly start saving half or even more of your income once you start your first job. Lesson 2. Calculate if you're not reaching your full financial potential with this simple solution. Stanley has come up with a simple formula to calculate your expected wealth. Multiply your age with your pre-tax annual income and divide by 10. Whatever this number is, it reflects how rich you could be right now if you've already cultivated good spending habits. For example, if you earn $80,000 at age 30, your expected wealth comes out to $240,000. Take this with a grain of salt, since it takes younger people longer to reach their expected wealth because of compounding interest. A 50-year-old will have reaped the benefits of the interest they get on their interest for much longer, for example. However, it's still a good indicator of how well you stack up and can keep you from becoming a big hat, no cattle type. That's someone who appears wealthy, like a farmer with a big hat, but in reality spends all their money on keeping up this illusion and thus has no actual cattle. Try to get closer and closer to your expected wealth over time, not by saving excessively, but by avoiding spending too much. Lesson 3. Don't fall for economic outpatient care to see your bank account go to 7 figures. Do you know how kids with rich parents often can't handle their finances and never worry about spending? That's what economic outpatient care, EOC, is all about. Most affluent parents mean well when they support their children with their hard-saved money, but in reality, it hurts their ability to handle money. Almost half of all wealthy Americans sponsor their children and grandchildren with over $15,000 per year, which leads them to acquire the according lifestyles, even though they technically can't afford them. I'm not American, but in hindsight, I think I too have received that much each year. And while I never went crazy and invested most of the money into my future, studying abroad, buying books, courses, travel, etc., I still didn't know how to save and grow my money until I started earning my own. The problem with regular EOC is that it eventually just fades into your annual income, making you believe you earn more than you do, and even calculating with that money in advance. What's the lesson? If you have rich parents, don't waste their money. At least invest it wisely. If you are a rich parent, don't spoil your kids. You won't do them any good.
Hey, this is Nick, the founder of 4-Minute Books, and I want to thank you so much for watching our video. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe to the channel for more. You can also visit us at 4minutebooks.com for hundreds of free book summaries, each of which
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of The Cold Hard Truth. Make sure to check Facebook for showtimes and more information and the latest news at CaymanMarlRoad.com. Subscribe to our IG and Facebook pages to get the latest happenings.